Hello. Hey, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, sunshine. Make sure. Hello. Hello. Hey, hey, Garnet. Thank you, baby. All right, y'all don't mind me. I'm going to be eating lunch. Thank you. Hello. Hey, Jamie. We're back. They're still on a break, though. They haven't come on yet. Guys, do me a favor. Repost this. Share this out. Those of you, am I on the wrong page here? Hold on. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm on the right page. All right. Guys, do me. Moo is all ready. He's ready. Look at him. He's like, all right, I'm watching. I'm here for it. Guys, do me a favor if you're just coming in, share this out, repost it. Same thing for you guys over on YT and FB. If you guys can like the live, I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're still on break, guys. We are still on break. Look at you all on time.
Yes.
That's so funny. So we do know that Patrick Clancy might not be coming back today. Thank you, Soul Stitches. I appreciate it. He might not be coming back to testify, but we do have other witnesses lined up. What did you think about the 3V and the CVS lady?
I don't know. I think they just kind of had to show that, but I don't think it was all that pertinent to the.
No, I feel like it's just some fluff.
Maybe the time frame a little bit, but
yeah. Yeah, I need to get together. I want an exact time frame, but I got to hear both sides and see, you know what I mean? Because I know there's some situations going on about the timeline. There's some questions with it. So, hey, Sandra D. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. Hey, Sam. We're still on break, guys. We should be reconvening any minute. Unless, hold on, let me make sure, because sometimes I'm not always the most up to date on this for some reason. We're still waiting for them to come back.
Yeah, I don't see anything yet.
Yeah.
Hello.
So we're still waiting for them to come back, guys. So far I still feel like I see psychosis. But again, we're not done with the prosecution side of it yet. So I mean, I get we'll see. I don't know what she was trying to say about the window.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like she was making a really big deal about that window. Don't mind me, guys. I'm eating lunch.
What was she saying about the window?
She just made a big point to, here's where she was laying underneath this window. Like, just kept, I don't know, almost like she was not believing him. You know? So, I don't know. What was it about the CVS lady? She just said, yeah, she called. She was normal, which if you never spoken to her before, you wouldn't know her, quote unquote, normal. Shield Papaya, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So I don't know what the whole point was other than to establish a timeline is the only thing I can think.
Right.
Do we know how many will be on the stand and if the husband will be back? So we don't know that the husband will be back today. However, he will be back to testify for the defense. I do know, thank you, Paula. I do know he had, well, what, there's 200 witnesses on the defense? That's the defense, right?
I think so, yeah.
There are 200 names on the list. I don't know that they're going to call to all 200 people. I do know that they originally wanted to call somebody who suffered from something very similar in a psychotic break, but they didn't allow it, which I think was really odd. Because if you experienced it, then you become an expert in your own right, you know, more so than people who've never experienced it. So I didn't understand that whole point.
Yeah, I was watching some of the replay, and if you really watch him closely, how heavily he was breathing, so I can understand the panic attack.
Oh, yeah.
And even though he looks calm, if you're looking at his face, but if you're paying attention to his breathing and everything, it's like, oh.
Then afterwards, right, you come out, all of a sudden you're not there anymore, and just the emotion hits you. Ever come out of like a really serious situation, all of a sudden you're just like, and it all swoons at you at once. So I can understand, but, and then looking at her crying, she was over there bawling her eyes out. I'm sure that there's still some kind of love there. Like they were married. These were their children. Like there had to have been some kind of like, man, that had to have been heavy.
Yeah, I don't think he really understood what to do with her.
No. And a lot
I
of,
think he was trying to help, but I don't think he really understood how serious it was.
yeah. And let's be real, guys, men, right? Men.
Yes.
I'm not trying to be rude. This isn't a, you know what I mean? Not all men are like that, but for the most part, men are men. It's usually the women that are the ones that take things a little bit more serious. They have more of the insight, and men are just, I don't know, they're men. That's not to offend them. I love men, but
when I had my daughter, like I had the baby blues for a couple of weeks, but I had to think back to that, and I said, I never told my husband, so he never knew how I was feeling. I figured, well, I didn't want to tell him that. He probably thought I would be crazy or something.
Well,
so, I kept it to myself, and I was all right in a couple of weeks. But I mean, you kind of think about what you do in those situations.
I had a friend who really struggled with connecting to her baby, and she would call me up all the time and ask me to come over. We had a baby at the same time. And she was not letting her husband know, to the point where I'm like, I got to call him and tell him that you're kind of feeling a little down and you feel like you're not connecting to the baby. And so I did. I called him up and told him, and was like, this is expected, but this is, but I feel like he really didn't understand. He was just like, oh, that's horrible. And questioned her, like, what do you mean you don't like the baby? And she's like, it's not that I don't like the baby. I just don't feel a connection. And I thought that I was going to be.
Everybody, it's kind of different because like I said, I felt down and stuff, but I didn't feel like I had a disconnect from my daughter.
See,
it was just like a down feeling. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, the baby blues. I think she did. She felt like, I think she was expecting to give birth, and all of a sudden, motherhood just was a thing, and you knew what to do, and you know what I mean? You had this overbearing love that you wait 9 months in anticipation for. And then she was just like, why don't I feel any different? And so, she's like, I love the baby, but I just kind of, I don't feel what I thought I was going to feel, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think at first when I had my daughter, I think maybe that's why I felt it was like a little overwhelming to me to go from, just being single and all right, all of a sudden you got this little baby that you have to take care of. And I really didn't have a good mother figure for that. I mean, my mother-in-law helped a lot, but I mean, it was just, and then, after a few weeks, if my instinct, your normal instincts kick in.
Yeah, it lasted a couple of weeks for her. Not too long, but I do know she was put on medication after her birth because of that. Thank you guys. Holly over on YT said hormones, attachment style, the brain chemistry makes this a tough case for sure. Yeah, absolutely, Holly. I agree with that. And still nothing. We're 7 minutes late for court. What's happening? Are you seeing anything on your end?
No, I don't see anything yet. I was listening to them earlier, and they were talking about, some lawyers were talking about, she had a lot of things available to her, like why did she take them to the basement and do what she did the way she did it? You know what I mean?
If she took them to the bedroom and stabbed them, we would have been asking the same question. Why'd she take them upstairs to the bedroom? And why did she decide to stab them, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, anywhere she did it, and however she did it, there would have been a question.
She took those steps to take them to the basement and use what she used when she was upstairs, and you could have.
But we don't know that she didn't take those kids, because remember, there's a living room down there. They went through the house. There was a living room down there, a TV, a living room area. That could have been where, how people have that finished basement where you live, and then you have the upstairs that's for entertaining purposes. We don't know that wasn't a normal thing. Maybe she took them downstairs and that's when she snapped, right? Let's all go downstairs to the basement, watch a movie, put a movie on, something. And then that's when she snapped. And again, why did she strangle them with the bands? Well, that's what she had in close vicinity to her. That's what she had access to at that point. That shows less of less to me like it was planned, because she happened to be in the basement with the kids. That's what she decided. The voices happened. I'm going to do it. And I grabbed the closest thing to me that'll get the job done. Not like she sat there and she, concocted these pills and she made the drink and she did all that, then took him downstairs. I feel like that more explains how it was like a last minute kind of thing.
Yeah, because they were upstairs when he left.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then he finished. He was
everything.
eating his chicken nuggets and his, green beans. Probably was like, all right, we're done. Let's go downstairs. Because remember, this was all in what, 45 minutes? Let's go downstairs. Let's watch a movie, do whatever it is. You know what I mean? And then they were already down there. Because again, remember, he went to the basement to look for them. That's where they normally, because you remember the one time, you know what I mean? Like, he went to the basement. They did the basement thing. The basement is where they functioned.
I think that's where she was sleeping a lot of the time, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She wasn't sleeping in their bed together.
I thought it was him that moved and she was sleeping with the baby, but it's possible.
I thought it was her. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm. So then you said I woke up late today and I'm all caught up now. It's amazing to me how slow we are moving when jurors go to see the house on Friday. Yeah, it is moving kind of slow. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. It is moving really slow. Like I need a little bit more. I need to know what happens now. Come on. Like it's just.
And I think she was under a lot of stress because she also stated that, for having the third baby, she feels like she didn't have enough time with the other kids, and and then on the other side of it, she feels like she didn't give enough time to the new baby like she did to the previous children.
Mm-hmm.
And also, she was having struggles with the middle child.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And then you also have to remember, like, she seemed, when they go back and they talked about who she was, to me, and I don't know her personally, right? I could just go by what they're presenting. She seemed very type A. Get up in the morning, exercise, have a schedule, have a this. I'm very type A, right? I understand the need for the organization, the this. When things don't work out according to my plan of the day, I get very overwhelmed because this is how it's supposed to go. I know what I'm doing next. We all are aware of what's going to happen after lunch. We're going to go do this. We're going to go do that. And so there are no surprises. And for me, surprises mean like, I don't know what's going to happen. There's so many kids, especially when they're little and that age, they function better with that schedule. So if something doesn't, fall into place, that in and of itself can become overwhelming, especially with an infant, right? Feeding times and stuff like that, everything gets thrown off. Someone doesn't get a nap, your whole day becomes hell. So, and often type A people have underlying mental issues. What you trying to say, Mama Fox? I see you. But that's true though. They are more susceptible to mental health issues and anxieties and stuff like that.
I understand what Mama Fox is saying, but
Me too.
I'm probably more OCD because I have to do certain things in certain days, and I do, I have my setup that I do, and if it gets interrupted, sometimes I get frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I can understand.
Mm-hmm. The husband knew she was unraveling. I don't know that he knew exactly what to look out for. I do know the signs were there to show him she was unraveling. He just may not have been able to pick it up. This is a guy who sits in front of a computer all day.
I don't think he understood, and he was just trying to help her.
Mm-hmm.
And he just didn't know what to do. And plus, he was getting overwhelmed himself because he was actually taking care of the kids a lot more, plus working from home and then worrying about her on top of all of that.
Nobody's getting out. Nobody's having conversations with grown-ups all day. It's like, it is a lot. It is a lot,
Yeah.
Sure. And still no court. What is happening?
I don't know.
Is anything going? Is anybody watching Law and Crime and it's something going on over there? Inside bar now, someone says? Okay. I don't see that. Let me make sure I'm not.
Well, Tina Jean doesn't quite like what we're doing, I guess.
Who's Tina Jean?
She says, I'm going to step out. I can't believe after 2 days of the trial, you all are still defending her.
Tina Jean, mental health illness and psychotic breaks are an actual thing, and she's showing all the signs of it being a definite, at the very least, a definite possibility, right? So we haven't seen anything that pushes one way or the other. How are you so tone deaf to mental health that you refuse to even accept it as a possibility?
Right.
Mental health is really a thing. Either way, even the prosecution is also not arguing the fact that she suffered from mental health issues, right? They're arguing, was it a psychotic break that this happened in? But they also are not arguing the fact that she suffered from mental health.
Right.
So, I mean, you have to be open to the possibility. If you're stuck on one way, then there's nothing I can say to change your mind, right? But you have to understand, put yourself in her position. What if it really was a break? What if she had absolutely no control? Is that a possibility? Absolutely. You can't say no. That's a fact. It is at least a possibility.
I want to hear the experts. I want to hear what they have to say.
You know, medical experts tend to bother me because I actually went and studied to become one, so I have done it. And it bothers me because you can push a narrative, right?
I think they're back on now.
I don't see anybody.
It says court's back on the record, so.
I feel like Court TV is a few minutes behind. Let me give it a second. Here we go.
They're saying
Here we go. We got it.
So, in there.
All right. Guys, do me a favor, numb thumbs, because I've been hit like 10 times today. I really need your makeup routine. Have a lot of kids in no time. There you go. Why is this? Oh, why do I have the volume down? Hold on. No, they're just not talking yet. Okay. All right. I'm not hearing it. Do I have the volume down or they're not talking yet?
They're not talking yet.
Okay.
This goes down to something computer.
Imagine a world where the best
You're right,
tools from
Sam.
around the country come right to your living room to help your student learn.
Marty, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. If they show something, I will take this off the green screen so you guys can see it. I'm just going to hold off before I get whammed again. This is Court TV.
He's back on the stand.
Why am I not seeing it yet? All right. I'm not hearing anything. Why do I have no volume?
He's back on the stand.
What's happening? There's no audio here.
Yeah, I don't have audio either.
Kaylee, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I have no audio, guys.
I can hear it.
On Court TV?
Yeah. Court TV, yes.
On YT?
I have it on Court TV on my TV.
Oh, we're on YT and they're not playing the audio. Hold on. What's happening?
The defense is questioning him now.
Come on.
Let me see if I can turn the volume on for you.
I think she started in 2014.
Thank you, because I got no audio here.
6 months over. We were, yeah.
Thank you, Gianna, for the follow. I appreciate it.
Not in second.
He's so soft spoken, the defense attorney.
Yeah. Let me know if you want me to stop. Back down.
She loved it. I had it.
So there's been some where
I'm going to go out and come back. Let me try long crime. Hold on, guys. I'll pull up long crime because this ain't working.
She's going to do private.
Thank you for Jennifer for the follow. I appreciate it.
If you can hear it on Law and Crime, can you rewind it
Yes.
from the beginning from defense?
Yes.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Do you, in the years that you lived for Lindsay, is
Scout me that.
cities and ultimately husband and wife, do you recognize her in your record?
I haven't seen it in a long time, but it's not true.
Long crime's not live.
Is it your understanding with what she did notes or what's the
Yeah.
record of this definition?
Yeah.
It's like most of them. So it's like
All right, here we go. Yeah. Trying to start it from the beginning. No, there was no sound in the beginning. Wait, is this live?
They have an objection right now.
Oh, okay. I'm going to pull this down. What is this? Deliveries?
Can you tell the jurors, as a husband living with Lindsay over the years, what kind of a mother was she?
She was very dedicated. She did everything. She started reading them books at 3 months. And she made up songs for them. I remember she used to make green eggs and ham for Cora because she liked that book.
Is that one of the Dr. Seuss books?
Yeah. She brought them to music classes.
You're quite the musician yourself, isn't that right?
I play a few instruments, yeah.
You play guitar?
Yep.
In your home, One of the things that appears to be striking is that almost every room, other than maybe a bed, well, actually a bedroom, but was
Num thumbs,
dedicated
guys,
to
num
children.
thumbs,
Would you agree
please.
with that?
Yeah,
Like you didn't have a fancy dining room, right?
we did not. No,
What did you have in the dining room?
we had the table that I grew up with.
How
Keeps
about stuff on the
focusing on this
wall?
dining room. Anybody notice that?
Did she put things, wall hangings on the walls for the kids?
There was a lot of art projects, stickers, things like that.
Yeah, were they hanging from the
Here we
wall?
go.
Yeah.
One of the photographs that the government had was photograph that, excuse me, if you can identify first. Is this photograph?
This is the defense questioning him now.
Of one of your rooms.
Yeah.
And what room would that be?
That's the playroom.
Right off of this room?
Any objection?
No.
All right, that may be admitted. Thank you.
If I may put exhibit 58 up so the jurors and so I can see it. There's some kind of like, what's this, though, it's boxed out window. So are we standing in the kitchen looking into that room through that boxed out window?
Yeah.
And all those objects, obviously, that are in that room would be kids' toys and things of that nature, right?
Right.
Do you recognize
They're blocking everything. You really
this
can't see anything.
photograph as being, let's say, just a sample or sampling of the kids' rooms?
Yeah.
You know which room it was?
I think it was Dawson's.
Okay, right off of this.
Any objection?
No.
All right, that may be admitted.
I can't see anything. He's not, I don't like these things he's pulling out. Show the picture on the screen.
This one here has a bunch of stickers. It's got Bruce Lightyear, or whatever his name is, over to the right. It's got an alphabet, A, B, C, D, things of that nature, correct?
It's Paw Patrol.
Okay. And again, following through on that same theme, you recognize this photograph as well being another portion of that wall?
Yeah.
And what are those, decals?
Yeah, they're just big stickers.
Okay. In the interest of time, Your Honor, I would just say, you also identified this as being one of the kids' walls. Would that be what you were telling us would be art projects?
Yeah,
And they were hanging on the wall?
correct.
Who hung them on the wall?
I think Lindsay did.
And would she also take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pictures of the kids?
Yeah.
Do you recall her putting together a little collage?
I don't know where he's going with this, but what are we doing here?
Pictures on a wall.
Yeah, she did it for each kid.
And everyone, you know, I don't know for or against what
That
it's
one's Dawson.
really.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have occasion to see her interact with Dawson as a...
Greg, did you wish to introduce those photographs?
Thank you, I appreciate it. Used to it.
60 and 61.
Okay, thank you.
Can you describe for the jurors her relationship with Dawson? I know he's a little kid, but I mean, did she...
What do you mean, what was her relationship with the 5-year-old?
She loved Dawson very much.
Did she resent him?
No.
You are familiar with, as her husband, Lindsay's, let's say, use of social media, such as Facebook, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us, would you look at her Facebook a lot and the pictures that she would post?
To be honest, no, not really.
Okay.
Huh.
Were you able to identify any of her postings on Facebook?
Probably.
Representative, over the years, or the period of time, I'm going to ask if you can identify this particular Facebook.
Your Honor, if we may approach briefly.
Sure, yeah, Counsel.
Not sidebarring. What are we doing here? Yeah, she did say Dawson was like the difficult one. Why does this guy keep making such a big deal about that dining room area with the toys?
Can you imagine how much evidence there's going to be for only on like day 2
Mm-hmm.
of 6 weeks or 8 weeks?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, kind of fun. Not that it's funny, you guys know what I mean, but would you be able to identify your wife's posts? No. My husband couldn't either. I mean, already we're not even back 2 minutes. I get what he's trying to do. First of all, why are we pulling up these cardboard pictures? The jury and people can see it so much better when it's on the screen. I get you're old fashioned, but I'm not liking those boards because you're not seeing much.
I think he's trying to show them that they had like a normal life.
Right. Yeah.
But it wasn't disputed though, because it's not like they had like, I think it's not social care because that's us, but people involved in everything before that. It's not like they had like services involved and things like that. So there's no dispute that they were okay paying for that, is there?
Yeah.
But before she got poorly, so I don't get what, just seems, I don't know. I know after she had the last baby, they did have help. They paid for help.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand why he didn't pay for help knowing she was going through all this.
Mm-hmm.
Because they could afford it, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not like they couldn't. And that probably would have took the pressure off of both of them, I think, a little bit.
Yeah. Listen, this guy needs to start impressing me with something because I get he's got a good background. Thank you, Junie Bubs, for the follow. I appreciate it. However, he hasn't done anything that I'm like, oh, you're good.
Right. I think he's going to drag it out quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? Bore the jury to death where they're just like, let it end? No. Let it go to a hospital? Like, I don't know what's happening. I don't think she shared with him how bad she was. I'm not going to lie. I don't know that I would sit there and do it to my husband. My husband is not the most emotional person. Not that he doesn't care. But I mean, if I sit there and he'd just be like, what do you, like, I don't know, what do you want to do? And sometimes I feel like it would make me a little bit more like, that's not helpful. Not that he's not trying.
I think much differently than,
Or she's just, she's going, she's talking about this far too much. Like, I don't know. She keeps bringing it up. She's nagging me. Like, I don't know.
They're not good problem solvers, are they? Some of them.
No, my husband's form of problem solving is to get me.
I think women are so much more problem solvers and just we'll take over by ourselves and just do what we have to do,
Mm-hmm. My husband he won't know what to do if he can't come get me. So if I'm the one going through it, it's hard for him. He struggles because, it's just, he's always got me there.
I think, when you're married and you have children.
Your clients dream big. Your agency builds bigger. Base 44.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get left out of the thoughts that you might need a little time,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true because when my dad died when I was younger, my mum didn't know how to write a check or do anything, banking, nothing. She didn't know how to, she didn't drive when she just lived because she was on the road. But it used to be that my mum did childcare and everything else on my dad worked, but she didn't know anything about banking or anything, my mum.
Yeah. I was in a really bad car accident a couple of years ago, and my husband had to take over and run the day to day. And yeah, that was wild because he didn't know. It was so much harder for him.
Yeah, well, what I went through, I mean, with my septic shock and everything, my husband was already passed at that time, at this 2 years previous. I don't think he could have dealt with everything that I went through. There's no way.
I remember being in hospital over Christmas and wrapping presents on my hospital bed because I got them to bring them in so I could wrap them because he didn't know what each was his and that.
Mm-hmm. Is he talking now? We still muted? What's happening? Okay. Excuse me.
Through 75.
Bye, Celtic. Thank you for coming.
Mr. Clancy, and if I ask a question and it's difficult, or if you need a break, I'm sure that, there's no result, we'll certainly give you a break.
Yep.
Like, push too hard, just let me know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Appreciate it.
This man needs to speak into a microphone.
Of the Facebook postings that Lindsay would post as the mother of your children. This, for example, would be July of 2018.
Yep.
Can you tell?
See, come on, use the damn.
That's Cora.
Like, the jury's not really seeing that. That's what's upsetting me. Is use the damn screen. Come on now, get into the century.
Say June of 2021.
That's not giving anybody a real emotional pull. The woman's ripping clothes out of a bag,
That's
and
Cora.
you're going to pull up an oversized postcard.
Again,
Hire someone to do it for you, honey. Stop now.
That's us with Cora and Dawson.
I can't. Come on.
August 2021.
Dawson.
Okay. End of August 2021.
No, he's not even walking into the jury.
Cora and Dawson.
They can't see that.
August again of 21.
It's Cora and Dawson.
I give up, man.
Sweet babies.
Number 1 of 21.
What is that? I can't even see what that is.
Is that first day of preschool?
Yeah.
We'll take your word for it, buddy, because we can't see it.
I don't understand why they don't put that up on the screen. I mean, I don't
Because they have to prepare it. They have to prepare that. And he's not using a computer. He's just using.
And was that some kind of like a family fun day, if you recall, where there was like lots of things for kids to get in?
Yeah, but who can?
To show.
But who can see that? Not the jury can't see that. The jury can't see that from where he's
The
sitting.
end of September 21.
it's like he's
No, that's Dawson.
Yeah, the jury can't read that post.
Callan was born when? Sorry.
May 2022.
Okay.
I'm sure he was good once upon a time.
December 24th of 2021.
He's won
That's Cora's birthday.
just recently for
That's the birthday
insanity.
party that year.
He's not doing a good job now. I mean, he may have a good track record, but he's not doing good now. This is ridiculous. That woman had the jury crying, and you have them squinting from across a room to see something they can't see.
And was that when you guys had the birthday party for Cora at the trampolines?
No.
When was that?
I believe it was January 7th.
Okay, but that would have been for that particular birthday, right?
That was for the birthday with friends because most people weren't available on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, right?
Yep.
And then down again, September 1st of 22. Remember when that was taken?
Yeah, that's with Callan and Dawson.
It was that your yard?
That's in the backyard.
Backyard, okay. This would have been September of 22, obviously right before 23, right?
Right.
Give him a mic, give him a
I'm Laura
laptop, a
Hausman.
tablet.
I'm instead in Virginia
something.
Beach. I am
You
so
could've
happy
just-
we've been helping in our
Examination by that.
You guys got a pretty good summer that year?
For,
He's on the stand for the
That was
defense.
on Cape Cod.
okay. It's not
This picture
talking
was
about
on
that.
Cape Cod.
Absolutely, we can vote him out.
And he just did something big and bad. I don't know what you just did, buddy.
Couple of points that I wanted to raise, sir, with you.
You listened on VPT on Court TV, who said his opening statements were terrific. Oh.
Sent from your, is it Surface Pro?
Yeah,
Is that
he's-
what it's called?
That was my laptop. Yeah.
I'm going to approach you, sir.
Even Patrick looks like he had enough of this guy.
Email.
I can't hear him.
It's like, spit it out by now, come on.
So the words are at the bottom. Can you guys read that? Because we can't hear him.
Put off of that, Your Honor.
The objection.
I'd just like to know the purpose of
Purpose? I'll tell
yes.
you the purpose.
No,
We could approach that.
sure, yeah.
I'll tell you the purpose. Yeah. Like, what is the purpose? Please do. That's what we're all, that's what we're all waiting for. We're all waiting for. Can you drop the camera a little bit so we can see above it? So is that better, guys? Like, that's the best I can do. It's just because their stuff is right in the way. It is?
Or you can
Okay.
slide your comments over so you can see the bottom of it.
I can make it bigger if you guys want to see the words. Like, I was trying to make it bigger, so we can't hear them. What are we doing? Another sidebar for what? Well, because the guy is got oversized postcards and it's only showing the guy on the stand, not anybody else.
He didn't like what the prosecutor said.
Yeah.
Between the Karen Reed and this trial, Massachusetts
Okay, thank you.
love sidebars.
Yeah, for real.
Yes, they do. He was a little upset,
Yeah. Because get to the point, man.
right?
Yeah, I'll tell you the purpose. Please do. We're waiting for it.
Yeah, what was the significance for him to say, oh, yes, this is
Well,
my computer?
While we're waiting for the copy, let me just.
Miss Heidi said I'm embarrassed by my state.
Do you recall yesterday, the district attorney was asking you a question or stated to you that on December 2nd of 2022, that you and your wife went to a fancy hotel in Boston and she had a massage and you both had a big dinner. Do you recall her asking you that question?
Yeah.
And in fact, would you agree, sir, that you did not, in fact, go to a fancy hotel on December 2nd of 22, being a Saturday night before your anniversary, the 3rd? You stayed at home, didn't you?
We did. We stayed at home.
And when you were asked that question by the DA, she wanted the inference to be that Lindsay Clancy in December of 22 was so relaxed that she wanted to have a massage and have a big dinner in a hotel. In fact, she was in her bedroom that night, wasn't she?
Objection.
Sustained, if you could rephrase that.
I'm approaching you with what appears to be from one of the photographs that the district attorney had showed you yesterday with her in a mask, and I believe the Dawson in a mask, right? And then.
Yep.
Now that photograph, sir, was actually preserved, if you will, on the Laptop Pro computer. Is that right? Did she send that to you?
She sent it to my computer.
Okay.
I don't know.
And where was she? Do you remember when that picture was taken? Let me
I
just show you.
believe it's here.
Yeah.
Well, if you put it up on the screen, everyone would be able to
Looks
see
like
it.
they're at the doctor.
At the doctor's office, okay. And can you tell me the date that picture, right-hand corner top, what date was that picture taken? And sent to your computer?
It's December 2nd.
The same date that we're talking about, correct? And what
Correct.
time was the picture sent?
12:45 p.m.
Okay. So the jury.
Can we land the plane?
So when you're dealing with these things on the computers, it's a little hard sometimes to understand what they're depicting, and I'm having a hard time moving it. There it is. All right.
Is he
Right
showing
there,
us?
you see that there? That's the date that we're talking about, right?
Right. Just to clarify, though, it looks like that was on an iPhone.
Oh, I'm sorry, iPhone. Okay, it was sent to you, though.
Correct.
And it was on December 2nd, the date that the DA was suggesting you were in Boston having massages.
4 rotisserie
Hey,
chickens.
listen,
3
I'm not
whole
mad
gallons
to
of
hear
milk,
the ad
2
now.
frozen lasagnas,
I needed
and
it.
That's just lunch.
Wow. Jury's memory, but
Yeah, if you can answer that.
do you recall, sir, that she also sent you the same day
This is not funny.
of what appears to
Now, this
be
is what happens when you've got
Horace
ADHD or autism.
Christmas list, wish list. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you look at the record on that, that was.
Paula says he's giving me anxiety, this lawyer. Now we're all suffering from mental health issues.
If you can read that.
It's December 2nd at 6:13 p.m.
6:13 p.m. And then finally, if you look at the metadata that is apparently buried in the photograph,
Yeah.
it gives latitude and longitude of where the photograph was taken. Is that right? You're familiar with metadata, I would imagine.
The plane
No way I can't do this.
landed.
The tape. The tape on the thing tells you.
Tape.
Yeah, that's our address.
Okay. And that would be the metadata with the latitude and the longitude that shows you where that.
I believe so.
Correct.
Wow. Come on,
That
dude.
means running.
People are
So,
saying this is how
I think we
many
had Exhibit 76. They're making a copy of that.
people are instantly on the plane.
You want to mark that? I don't know if we marked that yet. That was the earlier one, just so everybody can keep this straight. And this
Someone slapped the lawyer, Paula said.
latest
He's
email,
buffering.
Exhibit 77.
That would be the letter, the email? Yeah, the email right here.
Mine won't be like by like week 5.
I right? Look at Patrick is looking like is she paying you?
76 and 77.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, sir, Exhibit 76 is an email from you to, and we will going to delete the people that are on the email. As we mark it.
I'm not laughing.
Let me approach you. Does it indicate the date and the time? At the very top, you sent that email to your staff.
But you know you could be anywhere in the country sending
does.
emails, right? Like I
Volunteer
just
was what
I
the date
mean
was?
It's January 24th at 5:24.
And that was sent from your service.
so can we go back to December 2nd? What
I
happened
don't
then?
know, actually. It could have been sent from my iPhone.
And we're just showing the little daughter with the housework, that's all.
That would be Exhibit 76.
Sending emails whilst they were both home and not talking to him, possibly.
Yes, that's what I think they were trying to
Now,
say.
when was Callan born?
May 26, 2022.
My memory
Wait,
serves,
hold
he
on.
was-
I gotta pause this for a second, guys, because we jumped from December 2nd, December 22nd to January, whatever, the 20, like what, but you didn't finish the thought on each of those dates. What was the point of that? So you're saying that he was home. Got it. Why do we care that he was home?
And they had to
Why is it so important to say that he was home and not like?
with that little map with the arrow on it where the house was.
Easy breath, but I mean, there were no complications.
There were no complications.
And were both of you very happy with Callan being
Yeah.
born healthy? And
Were both
Yeah,
of you happy
we're all
with
very
him being born? Yeah,
then in
kinda.
that summer of 22, you had one of the best summers that you've had, right?
Yeah.
What happened in September, October of 2022?
Lindsay's mental health started to deteriorate.
And when you say that, sir, what is it that you, as her husband, observed?
Just increased stress and anxiety.
And did she, as a result of that, go to see or reach out for help to see someone?
Yes.
And who was that?
I believe it was Jennifer Tufts.
Now, Jennifer Tufts is a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And where is she located?
I never went to her office. Somewhere on the South Shore.
Do you remember when Lindsay went to see Jennifer Tufts?
I don't remember the exact date. I think it was sometime in September. Oh, I wasn't really involved at the beginning of Jennifer Tufts.
Of course. Do you recall that the difficulties or the trouble, so to speak, began towards the end of September into October of 22?
Yeah, it was pretty gradual.
Okay. But do you remember when the DA asked you yesterday whether or not you used your computer to Google suicide in, I think it was August of 22? Do you remember her asking you that question?
Yes.
And do you remember your response?
Nope, I forgot.
No, honestly.
You didn't Google that, did you?
I don't think I did, no.
No. But I'm going to show you, sir, a
You don't think you did?
web history
Well, who
of
did?
your computer. Have in mind that the question was asked of you as to whether or not in August of 22, you Googled suicide, and you responded no, right?
Correct.
The inference being, I guess,
Oh.
that back in August of 22, she would have Googled it, apparently, right?
With Hardee's
Come
original
on!
bag, bigger is better.
Yes,
Get
I'm going to
full-size
skip it
faves
now.
like our
You
double
go.
cheeseburger.
I mean, Tom Hall.
When we said that you should have answered yes if you didn't know, do you remember?
He's a
Yeah.
musical artist.
He's a what artist?
Like a country artist.
Country. Is he like a guitar playing guy or singer?
Yeah, was.
When you say was, what happened to him?
He committed suicide.
And I'm going to show you, sir, your Surface Pro records back in August.
I restart grifting for premium. Louis, you're funny.
You recall Googling the name Tom Hall so you could access one of his new albums or new records.
I do remember briefly listening to Tom Hall's music.
Okay. Now, you've never seen, you haven't seen this document before, correct?
Correct.
All right, and this would be, I'm sure you're probably familiar with it. When you get a phone dump, or a computer records dump, you get a print of all the sites that somebody would go on, Google, Wikipedia, things like that.
Right.
If you can look to the right.
Yep.
Down a little bit, you see, I think it says Tom Hall.
Yeah.
What does it say on Tom Hall?
It says his Wikipedia page.
Yep. Let me see here. So here we've got
Oh, we got a screen.
so that shows you when somebody Googles and then it goes.
Mind you, the guy works for Microsoft, by the way.
See where
Just
up
want to put it
above
out there.
says suicide methods.
Yeah.
Now you didn't, as you said to the DA, you didn't Google suicide methods, right?
I didn't Google suicide methods now.
But in fact, sir, when you Google Tom Hall, it took you to the Wikipedia page and it said that he died, right?
He did, yeah.
And then you clicked on the Wikipedia page and it went into a hyperlink. You know what a hyperlink is? I imagine you
Yeah.
do. Hyperlink.
Yeah.
What is a hyperlink, just so I know?
So like in Wikipedia, it would be a word that's highlighted in blue and it goes to a website.
Okay. So if I suggest to you, sir, that as you move down on your searches that afternoon, that you were looking at Tom Hall, that it brought you to ways to commit suicide, Tom Hall, Google search again, Tom Hall, all on that date at the same time. And you were just looking to see about the guy because he killed himself, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Get off of this.
Any objection?
Can I just see the packet?
So wait, so we're saying he Googled Tom Hall, clicked on Wikipedia,
I got that.
went down to a hyperlink that said ways to commit suicide. Well, I can see that happening. All right.
Just take a
All
look at
right.
it
That
and
plane did come in
kinda
for
go
a clear
from there.
landing, but I see it near the runway now. I mean, the fact that this guy's still chipping away on a rock to take notes is like, all right, maybe a little bit I can understand.
Well, she's looking at that. I just asked her, what is a URL? What does that mean?
Hold on a second. Just,
Right.
we'll let you get a chance to finish.
What is a URL? He's his own expert. I
If
can't.
I can see Council.
Oh, come on.
I'm getting tired of him dragging this out.
I mean, that plane is all like, we got a wing down, we got the propellers ain't working. Like, come on. Sir, do you know what a hyperlink is?
He doesn't need
Yeah.
URL is or any of that, I don't think.
So all you had to do is when you pull this up on Wikipedia, these hyperlinks show up. Is it possible that you clicked on one of these hyperlinks? Right? I would actively pull it up in the courtroom, show the hyperlinks in real time, and be like, isn't it possible you clicked one of these? 2 seconds. That was 25 seconds. I proved my point. Like,
Well, if you click on the link, it doesn't do it as a search. It does it as in a link. So it wouldn't have made it a Google search.
so no, but it will make it a search because the original, it adds on to the search that you originally searched. So while it doesn't show up as its own search, what it'll do is it'll show up, you search this, and then, you know what I mean? This happened in this search. So it still comes up as a search, but not its own separate search. Did I say that right? Now I'm confusing myself.
Sometimes I get hyper fixated on weird stuff because I click on a hyperlink and I'm like, that's interesting. Let's like read all different types of Lysol products.
So, well, that's being marked Exhibit E for ID. Basically, that would at least refresh your memory, sir, that in fact, inadvertently, that you touched the Wikipedia thing for suicide, but it was for Tom Hall, the singer, right?
Sounds like that was the case.
Okay.
Well, she didn't Google suicide.
Recall what medication?
Now this is a real kitchen.
I'm not.
Speed.
I'm still on the fence about the premium, guys. I need this little break
Drive-through and
every
delivery.
once in a while.
All moving together. That's how
I'll go
restaurants
back a little
stay in
bit.
sync. Big league reliability
My brain
for
hurts
any
from this
business.
guy.
That's genius.
These commercials
No, it is.
You're asking about,
Here, I'm gonna go back a little bit.
is that right? You're walking down the street, the two of you together, like at the end of the night. She basically told you that she had to use the meds.
It was earlier in the day. It was before the wedding, but yeah.
Okay. And do you recall how, to your observation, how dedicated was she to taking her medications as instructed by the numerous doctors that she ultimately saw?
She always took them as instructed.
Do you remember, did she in fact have a diary that she kept of the milligrams, the type of medication, the date that she took the medication, and what, if any, reactions that she had to it? Do you recall that?
Yeah.
And do you remember where that was kept? Did she keep it in any particular place?
I think she kept it in the kitchen.
In the kitchen. So I'm going to show you a photograph.
Of course he is.
That the state police took in your house. Is this a fair and accurate picture? Depiction of your kitchen?
Yeah.
So that kind of shows a bunch of books that are in like a cabinet or something, right?
Right.
I'm going to show you this enlarged spine, if you will, of a book. I ask if you ever saw that before.
I don't recall seeing this.
Would you agree, sir, that this book is, in fact, the same book, the same coloring that was in the bunch of books in your kitchen?
Yeah.
And on this book, you see what the caption of the book is.
Have scary thoughts. What is it?
Yeah, it says
Good moms have scary thoughts.
Yeah.
And I'm going to approach you with this document, sir, which would be a number of pages from the book, the cover of the book, and the inside of the book. Just, you've never seen that before, though?
I don't recall seeing this.
Okay. So with that understanding, Your Honor, I will not offer this at this time.
Hold on. Counsel, come up. If you could, Mr. Reddick, if you could show what it is that you.
I'm sorry, you said you're not offering it?
Well, don't let the foundation use this.
Okay.
All right. Any objection?
No.
Okay.
Objection.
So can I put it in?
Yes, that's
Oh,
fine.
okay, great, thank you.
No objection to him not offering it.
All right.
If I
What?
might just look at it,
Yeah.
there may
Why don't we do this? Why doesn't everybody come over here with that? We can kind of figure out where we go.
Can somebody? I know I'm the one supposed to be telling you guys, but can somebody tell me what just happened in the last 10 minutes?
Well, I think that they're showing like she kept a log right in place where everybody can see of her medications, and then also a book that she was trying to read through, and that the police saw that, but they overlooked it. You know, like they're stating like, oh, this wasn't a psychotic break. She doesn't have anything mentally wrong with her, when it was right there when they came in. That's what I think he was getting at.
I know, but showing that to the jury like that, I mean, you're looking at books in a little puppy bowl. That's not proving anything, really.
Well, I agree. It does go back to the whole good moms have scary thoughts.
What context was that?
Maybe he's getting to it now.
Who was the next doctor, if you recall, that Lindsay went to consult with?
Julie Paul.
And is this a doctor or a nurse practitioner?
I don't remember with Julie Paul. It was very brief.
Okay. Now, is it fair to say that Julie Paul was at South Shore?
Yeah, correct.
And Julie Paul was a friend of your mother's, is that right?
Yeah, I think they were acquaintances. Yeah.
I just built a budgeting app
Oh,
with
come
Base
on.
44.
Interesting. Can it generate reports?
It can now.
Although I'm not going to lie, I don't mind it.
Day labor and delivery, same thing. Okay. And your mother was good enough to refer Lindsay to this person to consult with, right?
Yeah, I don't think it was a formal referral. I think she just said this is a specialist that you might want to talk with.
All right. And did she go to see the specialist?
Yeah.
And did you go with her, or was this a?
No, I never met Jerry.
I should back myself up. Were these like in-person meetings, or are they like what do you call them, Zoom meetings? And
most of the meetings were Zoom. The only in-person that I'm aware of was with Rebecca Gelata.
Rebecca Gelata. Okay, and that was because you insisted on it, right?
I thought it was warranted at that time. Yeah.
Right, because you were pretty much at your wit's end with the 15-minute Zooms, and you wanted to sit down eyeball to eyeball and talk to this person, right?
I hadn't attended any prior to that. I just wanted to get clarification. I wanted to see if we could get on the same page.
All right.
Thank you, Cole. I see
So
you.
now Lindsay's on Zoloft from Dr. Tufts, the psychiatrist, correct?
Correct.
And then that runs into when you guys, she goes to see Nurse Paul.
Can you clarify?
What was it?
Can you clarify what you're asking?
Yeah, what month? When was it that she saw Nurse Paul?
Maybe October, but I'm not sure.
Okay. When she saw Nurse Paul, do you remember where she saw Nurse Paul, or was it a video thing?
I don't know. I wasn't involved.
Okay. Did Nurse Paul prescribe medication to her?
Come on, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
I don't know off the top of my head.
All right. Do you recall whether or not, to your opinion, that she had any reactions to the Zoloft that she had been placed on by Dr. Tufts?
I don't know any observations that were made.
Right, so it's not guesswork, it's observations, anything you saw and observed.
Yeah, it seemed to align with her insomnia symptoms.
Now, the insomnia, inability to sleep, was that a significant problem from your observations with her?
Yeah, it was a huge problem.
And when you say huge problem, was there one
Yes,
point when she
Rebecca.
was on medication from Tufts that in fact she had gone 48 hours, I think, without sleep?
Yeah.
And that was disturbing to her?
Yeah, and it was just hard to function.
And how about you? Was it disturbing to you?
I just wanted her to get sleep and feel better.
Yeah, she was cranky in the morning. You know it. Don't lie. Be honest.
She then went and saw the next doctor, a nurse practitioner, which we talked about, which would be nurse practitioner Paul at South Shore, right?
Right.
Now, after seeing nurse practitioner Paul, if you remember, or no, did you observe, did she seem to get better or did she seem to get worse?
It would be hard to say. I think it was a week at most. So it's really hard to say in that short a time frame.
Sure. And when you say a week at most, you mean that's like she was seeing nurse practitioner Paul for about a week?
Yeah, and I mean, she may have only seen her once. It was very brief, and then she got reassigned somewhere. So.
And the reason, if you know, that she got reassigned somewhere would be nurse practitioner Gelata, right?
Right.
Same practice, right?
Right.
And the reason was because Paul moved on to another job, right?
Right.
So Lindsay wasn't out doctor hunting. She was referred by the nurse practitioner that was referred to you guys by your mom because Paul was leaving, right?
Yeah, she just switched doctors in the same practice.
All right. Now she sees Dr. Gelata, right?
Right.
Did Dr. Gelata, to your knowledge, put her on medication?
Sorry, one and only.
And
That's
what
my
was the
pen
medication,
clicking. I'm
if you
getting.
know?
Mainly Seroquel and benzodiazepines, Ativan.
No, benzodiazepines. They're addictive, right?
Apparently.
Objection. Oh,
Yeah, but it's common knowledge. Yes, they're addictive. We all like that happy little sweet pills.
Now, Seroquel, she was placed on Seroquel as well. Is that correct?
Right.
And to your observation, again, you're not a doctor, what you saw of your wife, was she affected positively or negatively by the Seroquel that she was on?
It appeared that she was affected very negatively, and she's reporting that that she was getting worse on the Seroquel.
And do you know, did she report that to Dr. Gelata?
Yeah.
When she would consult with Dr. Gelada, prior to you actually going, do you know, were they all on video? If you know.
I believe, yeah, they were all on Zoom.
Okay. Do you have any opinion for the jury as to approximately how long these meetings on Zoom would be with the nurse practitioner?
Probably around 20 minutes.
At some point, do you recall that you went with Lindsay to see Dr. Gelada? Is that right?
Yes.
And do you remember, if you remember, when that was?
Early December.
In early December of 2022, can you tell the jury from your observations, how did Lindsay appear? How was she acting? How was she faring?
She was extremely sleep deprived and just highly anxious.
Wyzant helps
Oh,
millions
come
of
on.
learners succeed with the nation's largest network of tutors. Your
That you would actually see her on the sofa, rocking back and forth with her head under a pillow?
Yeah.
Did you report that and other symptoms to Dr. Gelada?
Lindsay did.
So when was it, if you recall, that you went and saw Dr. Gelada with your wife, person to person?
When was it?
Yep.
Early December. I think it was December 6th.
And do you remember, you got a pretty good memory about this, do you remember what medication she was prescribed by Gelada?
Coming out of that meeting.
Yep.
Yeah, she increased the Seroquel significantly.
I see you, Paul.
And then she prescribed her Valium to help taper off of the benzos.
Taper off the benzos?
Yeah.
To your knowledge, did Lindsay go to doctors to seek out benzodiazepines or drugs just because she was a drug addict?
No. Lindsay, I think, wanted to. She definitely didn't want to take any more benzodiazepines, and definitely didn't want to take any more Seroquel. I think that it wasn't really a matter of trying to get off the medication; it was just trying to get on the right medication.
Okay. Let's say mid-December. What observations, if any, heading up towards Christmas, did you guys endure?
She seemed to get worse. The Seroquel was increased to 400 milligrams.
400?
Yeah. And,
by Dr. Gelada?
Yeah. And the idea behind that was it would help with sleep, but she didn't get better. She got worse.
Do you recall that at one point she went to a place called Women's and Infants
in
Rhode Island?
Right.
Women and Infants Center for Women's Behavioral Health. Do you recall that?
Right.
Do you remember when she actually went to Women's Behavioral Health?
Sometime in mid-December. I don't know the exact date.
All right. So if I suggest to you, sir, that I have certified copies of the Women and Infants medical records indicating that on December 20th of 2022, that was the day that you dropped her off at Women. Does that refresh your memory?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I'd like to offer the certified copies of the Women and Infants hospital records.
Would object. We don't have a copy of those.
All right.
You don't have these?
Could I see?
Can I see his sidebar?
And they were turned over the prosecutor.
Didn't they? Or because
She just said they don't have it.
right. She said they
If
didn't.
he just fact checking what the witness said at the time, obviously, because he's saying, "Is this because of this?" So is there to do leading things like that, or is he just checking what he said was yes or no?
I don't know. I'm hoping he brings this all full circle. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping happens, that this all gets brought full circle, because I'm not sure.
I feel like his questions are getting better. They're getting more to the point of.
I see where he was going with the first question around December 22nd. And yous were home in bed and yous really weren't out. And then he brought it back to right now. All of this was going on around December. But you have to show people that that's where you're going with it. because if you don't tell them, they're not going to meet those two together. You know,
Mr.
like
Clancy,
I'm
do you
writing it
remember
down
that
so I saw what he
day,
was
December
doing, but
20th of
I wouldn't have been
2022,
able to.
that she
Yeah.
went to
Aaron,
that
thank you for the
place?
follow.
How did she get there?
I drove her.
And do you remember dropping her off?
Yeah.
Do you remember what her state of mind was to go there? Was she scared? Was she happy? Was she?
I think she was scared.
Do you remember what you did that day?
I took Dawson skiing.
And where did you go skiing?
What she said.
At some point in the afternoon, did you receive a phone call?
Yeah.
Was it from Lindsay?
Yeah.
And as a result of the phone call, what did you do?
She said that you need to come pick me up, and the doctors here want to talk to you, have you come in and talk for a bit.
Okay. Did you go and talk to him?
Yeah.
Do you remember who you talked to?
I don't remember their names.
Do you remember the
He does look a little
conversation? Did
yellow.
you describe or indicate what her symptoms were at that point in December 20th of 2022?
Yeah, the conversation was they didn't.
Objection.
Yes.
All right. Sustained at this time.
Did the people at Women's and Infants Facility in Rhode Island prescribe any medication to your knowledge?
I don't think so.
They provide any counseling or anything?
I think they tried to, but they felt that it wasn't the right fit for Lindsay.
Do you recall that in fact it was because of the drugs? They weren't sure what symptomology would be because of the drugs?
Objection.
Sustained.
What?
Do you recall whether or not the people at Women and Infants in Rhode Island reached out to Dr. Gelada?
Objection.
I don't think so.
Well, if he knows.
I don't think they did, no.
And was it one day or half a day that she went to Women and Infants in Rhode Island?
What can you do with multi-gig internet?
Okay.
More creating. More
I made
streaming.
a pay for premium when we get done with this.
It's now you and the kids and Lindsay, and it's days before Christmas, right?
Yeah, and her parents were there.
Why were her parents there?
They were visiting, trying to help out, and I took Dawson to watch. She said they stayed home with Cora and Kellen.
Now, during that time frame in December of 22, maybe a little bit before, maybe after Thanksgiving, did your mom and dad and Lindsay's parents come to your house and try to help out with the kids?
Yeah, I think it was separately though.
Yeah, of course it would be separate. I mean, what would they do?
Just be there, help out, play with them, to get takeout, play Scrabble.
Did Lindsay's mother and father actually stay there and sleep in the basement for
They did, yeah.
time? Were you aware personally, let me back up, you and Lindsay as husband and wife would in effect sleep in the same bedroom, is that correct?
Yeah.
There was an occasion though that she said to you about you go downstairs and then I think she ended up downstairs?
Yeah, for the purposes of her getting better sleep.
And for her purposes of getting better sleep, were you aware that on one occasion she used a gummy, a sleep aid gummy? Did you know that?
I don't recall that, but we did have them in the house.
Okay. Now, to your knowledge, was Lindsay a person that liked to smoke the weed and use the CBDs oils and all that?
Not to smoke the weed.
Not imbibe in
I'd
that.
use the CBD's oil.
So you had these gummies in the house, sleep aid, right?
I mean, some people might call them a sleep aid.
Okay. Heading into the holidays of 22, do you recall where you spent Christmas?
I think it was at our house. We celebrated Cora's birthday.
Sorry.
And then I think we actually went down to Wallingford, Connecticut to be with her parents after.
Her parents?
Yeah.
Okay. And then heading into January of 23, who did she then see for doctors or nurse practitioners, if you know?
After she got back from McLean?
Yes.
She switched back to Jennifer Tufts.
Now, before she switches back to Tufts in January.
What is the weed thing?
On New
Make?
Year's, of 2022, 2023, you guys drive to Boston, go to MGH, and ultimately she turns herself into McLean Hospital, right?
Right.
Now, McLean Hospital is basically a locked ward facility, correct?
Correct.
Was she allowed to just wander around and leave the place whenever she wanted?
She couldn't leave, but
Couldn't leave.
inside she could go to different areas.
Can you tell the jury what her state of mind was as she went to McLean Hospital with her husband on New Year's 23 at that point?
She was scared. She didn't want to go, but I think it was the second time we went to the ER, and I said, "You have to go."
Now at McLean Hospital, I know you visited with her. Is that correct?
Yeah.
District Attorney asked you yesterday about the excellent care that she was provided with all these counselors and therapists, and you indicated that it was your understanding that she was playing with clay and coloring, right?
Right.
Can you describe for the jury what McLean was like to you as a husband visiting his wife? In other words, were there doctors, were there nurses, were there people in the hallways?
What I saw was it looked like mainly nurses. It was the tail end of COVID, so they were mostly behind this plastic covered area. And it could have been just the time of day that I visited, but people were hanging around, watching TV, playing with clay.
Do you know whether or not she saw a doctor or psychiatrist ultimately from McLean Hospital?
I was not aware of that. The only one I was aware of it was the doctor on the second to last or final day.
And what was that, Dr. Goodhart?
Yeah.
And did you speak to Dr. Goodhart?
I ended up calling her. I wanted to see what her evaluation was. So I gave her a call and we spoke, and she said, she's clearly depressed.
Sustained.
Okay. So you spoke to Dr. Goodhart.
Yeah.
Did Dr. Goodhart, to your knowledge, prescribe any medication?
I think she recommended medication, and then
How many medications did she recommend?
I don't know if she recommended multiple. I want to say it was Cymbalta, but she said, check with your doctor and make a decision.
So when Lindsay left, it was because she wanted to leave one day early because of Cora's birthday. Is that right?
I don't think it was one day early. I think she had a 5-day stay, which at the time was, my understanding was that was pretty standard. And yeah, she did want to attend Cora's birthday.
So
My feet are killing me.
But they don't have to. Try Dr. Scholl's 24-hour energy insoles with boosting beads that take the pressure off for all-day comfort and energy-boosting support.
Not killing me.
Dr. Scholl's, new life for your feet.
Yeah, he
Whether
did
you're
answer
backing
that
up your home,
very well. I'm going to go back.
the outdoors,
Catch up.
powering the job site.
All right, they may be.
Did Dr. Goodhart, to your knowledge, prescribe any medication?
I'm finding it hard to
I think
follow
she
him now.
recommended medication, and then
How many medications did she recommend?
I'm trying to write it
I don't know
down,
if she
but
recommended multiple. I want to say it was
What's his
Cymbalta,
point?
but she said, check with your doctor and make a decision.
So when Lindsay left, it was because she wanted to leave one day early because of Cora's birthday. Is that right?
I didn't think it was. I don't think it was one day early. I think she had a 5-day stay, which at the time was, my understanding was that was pretty standard. And yeah, she did want to attend Cora's birthday.
So there's no doubt, sir, in your mind that when she was discharged from McLean, that you got these, right? McLean?
Yes.
Yeah. That when she was discharged from McLean Hospital, it was not against medical advice. The doctors gave her a bill of health and let her go with you, right?
Right.
Or off of the McLean records.
so she was
They
discharged,
may be admitted.
not AMA.
Now, you know when you go to the hospital and you get out of the hospital, they give you a bag and you've got medications and a little card and says, thank you for being here, stuff like that. Did you guys get anything from McLean at all?
I don't think so.
Did you get any recommendations other than the doctor suggesting that you might want to try Cymbalta? Did they give you a script?
I don't think so.
You know what Cymbalta was?
No.
You remember Dr. Goodhart telling Lindsay to Google it?
I think that's accurate.
Yeah. In fact, she Googled hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Medication, right?
Yeah.
So when you guys go home, and now it's January, obviously, you had the party for Cora, correct?
Yeah.
You guys had friends over, or friends that you guys knew?
Friends came to the party, which was at a place in Plymouth.
Would you agree with me that Lindsay had a number of friends from actually grammar school through high school through college that she stayed in touch with over the years?
Yeah.
And you as well?
Yep.
And they're good friends. Like you still would see them and you guys would do dinner and things of that nature, right?
Yeah.
Actually, one of your friends, I think it was one of your friends, it might have been one of her friends, actually named her in January or around that time frame to be godmother or take care of their child if anything bad happened to them and they were dead, right? Remember that?
My brain has been foggy for the last couple of years, but
I understand.
yeah.
Okay. In January, as time went by, do you recall that she would actually continue to take notes of her medications that she was taking, right?
That sounds like something Lindsay would do.
Kept a diary or a little log, right?
Yep.
I'm approaching you, sir, with this and asking if you can identify this. Anyway.
Yes.
When you say yes, and I'll put it on the little screen, what is it?
It's the dosage of medication that she took and how she's feeling.
So this is kind of like a little medical diary that she was keeping.
Yeah.
For example, here you see on that 5 milligrams Valium, 200 Seroquel, slept well, horrible thoughts in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And did she at some point, I think the DA had asked you, I'm going to offer this, Your Honor, if I may.
Any objection?
No.
That may be admitted.
Thank you. There was an occasion where she told you in the presence of her mother that she was having horrible thoughts, right?
Right.
And you told us about that yesterday. And it was quite an emotional thing for her to do that, right?
Right.
After that time frame, you continued on. You were working in the basement, right?
Yeah.
I shouldn't say basement. It was a finished place, right?
Finished basement, yeah.
And that was where you worked on a regular basis. Is that right?
Yeah.
Would that be a 40-hour week or longer?
It varied, but yeah, roughly 40 hours.
And I know it was maybe COVID, tail end of COVID, but one of the other reasons that you did that was so you could be home and help out. Is that right?
Yeah, I worked from home since 2018.
Okay.
So he
I
wasn't
built an office down there.
So he really wasn't working at home because of.
Yeah.
Not always, but you were down there when you would work.
When I wasn't traveling, yeah, I was there.
Okay. So when would you travel?
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't know he traveled.
I really didn't travel actually much during COVID, just towards the end and once in November.
November of what year?
2022.
November of 2022.
But before that, I traveled extensively.
But let's look at November of 2022. November of 2022 is a month before she was telling you and her mother that she was having thoughts about hurting the children, right?
Right.
It's November of 2022, and you traveled. Where did you travel to?
New York.
And how long were you there, sir?
2 nights.
And who took care of the kids?
Lindsay.
Sorry?
Lindsay took care of the kids.
Lindsay. So for 2 days, 2 nights, a month and a week or so before she killed the children, she was home with the kids for 2 days. Is that right?
Right.
Fair to say that you also had your friends that you would do brunch with on occasion, Sundays or weeknights or whenever, guys night type thing.
Yeah.
And you'd be out with your friends. If she wanted to kill the kids, she certainly could have done it that time when you're out, right?
Point.
In theory.
As opposed to sending you
He's
on a
absolutely
3-minute
right.
trip to CVS and a 9-minute trip to a restaurant. You were away for 2 days in November and on a number of occasions for brunch as well as skiing, right? You're a pretty active guy.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to
She had
approach you, sir,
ample
with one of
opportunity in the
books that
time
was
leading up to this.
cabinet, I believe.
Well, but also,
Remember-
she was fine too, so.
I don't think so.
But is it fair to say, sir, that she had a number of books, about parenting and things like that, and this one here was pregnancy and postpartum anxiety workbook. Did she have workbooks that you were aware of, or work diagrams and things like that?
She had books of different sorts.
So you can't identify this as being in the kitchen, right?
I don't recall seeing that book. No.
Am I
Yeah.
anxiety?
Sure.
Thank you. Mhm. Thank you. By the way, I'll withdraw that. I'm going to approach you, sir, with this document. Excuse me. And ask if you can identify it.
It says postpartum depression and anxiety patient information sheet.
And if you go towards the end there, does it appear to be her writing in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No objection.
All right, that may be admitted.
Now, my question is, this is really interesting. Did she get to go out to brunch with her friends? When was her day?
No, sir, I'm looking at this item. It's got a bunch of flowers on the front. Appears to be a notebook. So your understanding that the state police went in your house and they seized all sorts of items, such as this?
Yep.
But we don't have originals that the police do, but these
Right.
are copies. Fair and accurate?
Yeah.
Is that the caption that you were referring to?
Yes.
Postpartum depression and anxiety.
Yes.
And at the end of this particular document, you would agree, sir, that it has writing?
Yeah.
And whose writing is that?
Lindsay's.
And is this like a book or notes that she would take documenting on a daily basis any effect that she had from postpartum?
It appears to be the case.
Yeah. Your Honor, I would offer the records of Dr. Jennifer Tufts, ASTA mental health records.
No
Oh,
objection.
all right, that may be, they may be admitted.
I'm going to have to, I think, maybe talk to the DA about this because I do have a lot of tabs and notes in this one. I know we have clean copies, right?
We have a clean copy we were planning to admit,
All right,
so that's
good,
not a problem.
okay.
So we'll enter that and then before, we can then substitute it with a clean copy.
Thank you.
This is really
Sorry, can I see the
interesting.
exhibit for the? One of the things that you had identified yesterday was the document that you obtained from CVS, is that correct?
Yes.
It sets forth all of the medications that were purchased by Lindsay by prescription from the physicians that she had seen during that period of time, correct?
Correct.
Oh.
And you indicated yesterday that the police had seized a number of pill bottles, and then you also had a number of pill bottles, is that right?
Right.
And the pill bottles that you had, do you recall, what are the circumstances that you had them in a bag in your car?
The reason I had them in a bag is because sometimes a provider would adjust medications. So, for example, I do remember Lindsay had a prescription of Ativan, and then a few days later, they wanted to increase the dosage because it wasn't effective. So what they would do is they would say, give that old prescription to your husband, he'll discard it, and then continue taking from the new prescription.
Wait, who said that?
When the DA yesterday went through that there was scripts.
Hold on. I gotta roll. I'm sorry, guys.
Share everything.
Timing. I gotta
especially
rewind that
savings.
because
Couple your
who
cars
said
and
to
couple
give
your
it to your husband and I've never heard that. Sorry, I gotta hear that again. I'll be quiet.
John, can I see the exhibit for the? One of the things that you had identified yesterday was the document that you obtained from CVS, is that correct?
Yes.
It sets forth all of the medications that were purchased by Lindsay by prescription from the physicians that she had seen during that period of time, correct?
Correct.
And you indicated yesterday that the police had seized a number of pill bottles, and then you also had a number of pill bottles, is that right?
Right.
And the pill bottles that you had, do you recall, what are the circumstances that you had them in a bag in your car?
The reason I had them in a bag is because sometimes a provider would adjust medications. So, for example, I do remember Lindsay had a prescription of Ativan, and then a few days later, they wanted to increase the dosage because it wasn't effective. So what they would do is they would say, give that old prescription to your husband, he'll discard it, and then continue taking from the new prescription.
Who said that? Who is he saying said that? Who is he saying said that?
The people who prescribed it.
I think the provider, yeah.
I have never heard that in my entire life. You don't say give it to your husband and then just go fill this one. That's not a thing.
Yeah, that's like reminded me of something from the 70s or 80s, right?
Not even that, but like Ativan. What does Ativan come in? Like 0.5, 1, 2s. You know what I mean? Like 9 out of 10 times, like you wouldn't discard them because you can take 2. Like say and I listen right off the top of my head, if they were prescribed 2 milligrams and I got 1.
Well, sometimes they don't want you to mix up medications. And I think the state that she was in, maybe they tried to tell him that, what what he's taking.
She could have got in the car though. It doesn't mean that she couldn't have accessed them in the car.
Right.
Did she know they were in the car?
It just, I don't know, but it just doesn't make that whole statement doesn't make any sense to me.
And it doesn't make sense to say give them to your husband. Right? That's
No.
weird to me.
And he'll get rid of them.
Yeah, that's
You
weird
don't know
to
if her
me.
husband's a drug addict or sells.
Yeah.
I've
Doesn't
never
make
heard of
any
that.
sense. Doesn't sound legal.
But he didn't get rid of them and kept them in the car.
Exactly. Point proven. Like that didn't make any sense to me that they told him that.
No.
Sorry, let me carry on. Yeah, there's something about that. I'm not feeling that.
The DA yesterday went through that there were scripts and there were pills with a 30 count, but then there's 27 and 3 were gone, but that's because she wasn't taking her medication. That's not the case. It's what you were told to do, right?
Correct. Yeah. Without that context, it paints a different picture.
Exhibit 2.
So did you guys see what he just did there though? He said, you know, yesterday the prosecution pulled up those pill bottles and was like, there was only 6 missing from here and 4 missing from here. And exactly what we said happened though was that they would get rid of the one, get a new one because the dose was different, which is why there was only just a couple missing, which we all said that yesterday could have been what happened. However, the husband having the pills just doesn't make sense to me, but
I mean,
I see where he went with
they're
that.
controlled. You can't leave them in a car because someone could break in your car. There's
Well,
ones over here that you're not allowed to have because other people can sell them. And
they don't
misuse
want
them.
you the water system.
Yeah.
You can buy pill break, like a pill destructor at a pharmacy, or you can bring them in, they'll do it for you. But yeah, they don't, it's just weird to me. But I see where he went with that though. Good for you, guy. I see you landed a plane a little bit.
Correct? They were in your bag, in your car?
You're rearing them in.
Right.
I know you can't tell from looking at the bag.
I remembered it's exhibit 2 though.
Okay. Wednesday, January 24th, one of the troopers located 4 medication bottles, and at some point on the 26th at about 2:30 in the afternoon, bottles were then documented by the police. When was it, if you know, that you turned these items in to the police?
I believe it was after the event. I don't remember the exact date, but I remember I told them I do have other prescriptions in my truck still, and I gave them to him.
Okay. So the police already went in with a search warrant. They already seized all the drugs that they could find in the house, in the kitchen, in the bedroom. Were there drugs in the kitchen, by the way?
Yeah.
They're all over the place, right?
Yeah.
And they seized it, right?
Yeah.
And then you, to be cooperative, told the police that you also had pills in your car, and you went to the DA's office and gave them to Attorney Sprague and the state police, right?
Right. But to be clear, those were discontinued prescriptions.
These are the ones like that she stopped.
Correct.
All right. And then you had new prescriptions, so there were new prescriptions that were prescribed to her, right?
Yes.
Now, when I met with you in the house, long after the state police had gone and finished their search, you recall that we went up to the bedroom and I removed this from the nightstand right next to the bed.
Yeah.
What is this?
What that is? What is this? Is it a drawer, obviously?
That's the drawer that goes into the nightstand.
And inside the drawer, sir, do you recall that there were a number of items that I see trazodone, Lindsay Clancy, prescribed on January 5, 23.
Bring the actual drawer in.
January. Guianapine, 100 milligrams, prescribed for Lindsay Clancy, December 21st. Whereas they're all empty too, right?
I'm going to pause this for 1 second, and I just want to make a point here. That husband just didn't make sense. Something isn't right here with his testimony. I'm going to tell you why. If they told you to take the medications because she got new ones, and that's what you all did, why does he have a drawer full of medications? If those weren't the ones that the police took, because those were the ones she was taking. So,
The ones in the nightstand.
no, the police took those. The ones that were in the kitchen. He found those in the drawer after the state police went there. So my whole thing is then that's not something you did. That you took them and she would, why were they in the, listen, I got questions. I'm just saying. So in other words, the lawyer's saying they're all a little bit all over the place, right? The state police took the ones from the kitchen because you said that's the one she's taken. You had the ones that you were going to discard in the car, but yet there's a drawer full of them up here. So what's true and not true? That didn't make sense there, hubby. So
That's my point of how much she had access to.
right. And so you don't know what she was actually taking. You're lying because if that's what you did, she wouldn't have a drawer full of old prescriptions in her drawer. because the state police were there and just said the state police took him out of the kitchen because you got him kind of laying all over the place. And he's like, yeah, which isn't smart with kids. So why did you only have a couple bottles in your, and were they all, I'm curious. I want to go back and look at the ones.
Some older kids, they could have been locked up. They couldn't have even been on anything.
Right, but if you're changing, if he's taking the prescriptions away from you, because that's what they told you to do, and now you have all these new ones and they're in the, why do you have all these bottles? And I want to look at what was in the car. What medications did you specifically happen to have in that car? And I remember they told us, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm just a little curious now because that whole, oh, you go ahead and you take these medications and you hold on to them, hubby. I've never said that to a patient ever. You know what I will say? If I notice a patient, and I used to work in doctor's offices before I worked in a hospital. If I saw a patient was on a lot of painkillers, benzos, just very addictive, very, street worthy medications, I always said to them, bring your medications in with you, please. This way the doctor can take them from you and he'll write you a script. I didn't tell them that, but I always knew that, listen, this is let me just bring them all in with you so the doctor could see what you're taking and the correct dosages. And that would be this way. They came in and they would hold them. And the doctor would always be like, just try and get them to bring their medicine in, like with them.
Something to what
yes.
The meds the first time.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have forgotten.
Yeah, I will go through them because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I had that thought of he just blew your testimony out of the water. It doesn't make sense. I'm going to go back a little bit, guys. I interrupted. I'm sorry.
That there were scripts and there were pills on the 30 count, but then there's 27 and 3 were gone, but that's because she wasn't taking her medication. That's not the case. It was what you were told to do, right?
Correct. Yeah. Without that context, it paints a different picture.
Exhibit 2 would be the pills that you had turned in, I believe. Is that correct? That were in your bag, in your car?
Right.
I know you can't tell from looking at the bag.
I remembered it's Exhibit 2, though.
Okay. Wednesday, January 24th, one of the troopers located 4 medication bottles, and at some point on the 26th at about 2:30 in the afternoon, bottles were then documented by the police. When was it, if you know, that you turned these items in to the police?
I believe it was after the event. I don't remember the exact date, but I remember I told them I do have other prescriptions in my truck still, and I gave them to him.
Okay.
That was after they collected them.
They went in with a search warrant. They already seized all the drugs that they could find in the house, in the kitchen, in the
See? They already seized the drugs.
Yeah.
He's saying, I take the ones.
Right?
Yeah.
And they seized that, right?
Yeah.
And then you, to be cooperative, told the police that you also had pills in your car, and you went to the DA's office and gave them to Attorney Sprague and the state police, right?
Right, but to be clear, those were discontinued prescriptions.
These are the ones like that she stopped.
Correct.
All right. And then you had new prescriptions, so there were new prescriptions that were prescribed to her, right?
Yes.
Now, when I met with you in the house, long after the state police had gone and finished their search,
boom, we landed the plane.
And I removed this from the nightstand right next to the bed.
Yeah.
All right.
What that is.
He's got a brain cell left.
Is it a drawer, obviously?
That's the drawer that goes into the nightstand.
And inside the drawer, sir, do you recall that there were a number of items that, let's see, trazodone, Lindsay Clancy, prescribed on January 5, 23. Creatinine,
January 5th. So those
prescribed for Lindsay Clancy, December 21st. Lorazepam, they're all empty too, right?
Yeah.
Because these are what she shot down with that lemonade or water or whatever was in the cup. She ground up these pills, right?
So were they trying to say she didn't really take the pills in the empty bottle of lorazepam's there?
Prescribed to Lindsay Clancy, December 16th of 22. Mirtazapine, prescribed to Lindsay Clancy, January 23. Those are in this drawer, and they were all empty, right?
Right.
You observed that, right?
Those are all empty?
There's something else that was in the drawer. You recognize that?
Bam!
What is it?
It's her Apple Watch.
Her Apple Watch. This is the Apple Watch that apparently the police used to go up the stairs, downstairs, heart rate, things of that nature, right?
Yeah,
They never even seized it, did they? They left it in the drawer, right?
apparently.
So those are all empty. So she did take medications.
Item, sir, if you can identify that for us.
Really, we don't know if she did it because
It's a face mask for sleeping.
To sleep?
Yeah.
Now, you had mentioned something, I think, about pillow spray. What is that?
She bought some pillow spray. It apparently helps you sleep.
And did you see her using that on a regular basis?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, she did.
Not all of them are empty, though. Some of them are jiggling.
Your Honor, I would offer the drawer.
If I could just see,
Yeah.
I think you.
And I think there's a watch on the side there.
I know it was
No objection.
Okay. Do you want to put that in as one exhibit?
Sure.
Okay.
Now, reference to the Apple Watch, sir. How many Apple Watches?
Speak in the mic, buddy.
If you
Just
know?
one.
Just one. It's the only one she had. Police never seized it, right?
Correct.
And the drugs that were in the drawer, the empty drugs and the pill bottles from January, December, 22, 23, the police never seized them, did they?
No.
I'm showing you an item, sir.
So I have a question. I'm going to interrupt again. Y'all are going to hate me for this, but if she was wearing the Apple Watch and that's how they saw her going up and down the stairs, right? Am I right?
Yeah. Yes.
When she jumped out the window, she took the watch off and stuck it in the drawer?
Yeah, that's what.
Or was she not wearing the watch? I want to see the evidence they come because they didn't come with evidence to that.
Oh, or maybe when she went up to the bedroom, maybe she put it in the drawer before she did what she did.
Or we never, I mean, we were hearing that she had the Apple Watch on, but we never actually saw it. So I'm curious what they're gonna, but she probably took it off to cut her wrist.
Yeah.
Which means, because she was not wearing an Apple Watch. It was in the drawer. I'm curious to see.
She could have been wearing it to the point until she went up.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to work out in my head. You're absolutely right. She could have, and then took it off to cut her wrist, which means she cut her wrist in that room, which we saw the blood there, in that last ditch effort to. I'm just trying to play this all out in my mind, guys. I'm sorry. But we never saw any evidence of that. I'm just curious to see, because I remember hearing it, but I never actually saw anything that states she really was with the Apple Watch and they really did have that evidence. I haven't seen that yet.
Did she not take some meds out of that drawer?
She did, because she took the meds with the old lemonade that was sitting there on the because kids. She used that old lemonade from the night. She crushed up the pills and put them in there.
I'm not being funny, but a drawer, it had no lock or anything. The older kids could have easily got hold of some medications.
I agree. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to interrupt that. I'm just, my thought process is going and I.
Green vase. Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah.
This is live, Lakota.
Objection. We could go to second.
Yeah, can I see Councilor Sidebar, please?
What is that? Sorry guys, I gotta go back a little bit. I'm talking too much here. I apologize.
Yeah, next to the bed.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what that is? What is this? Is it a drawer, obviously?
That's the drawer that goes into the nightstand.
And inside the drawer, sir, do you recall?
Finding a tutor for Sam was all about finding the right fit. When I discovered Wyzant.com, I was thrilled.
dates thereafter. Got a little green vase. Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah.
What is
Can you
it?
tell the jury what it is?
Objection. We could go to sidebar.
Yeah, can I see counsel sidebar, please?
What is that? I don't know. They didn't say, but
Object or they will say.
yeah. It looks like a little is it, I don't know, pill crushers come looking like some crazy things. I don't
Looks like a
know.
little green apple.
Yeah, it did. Like a little
Yeah, we saw the watch. Dear bunny. There, bunny.
all right, guys, you know what? If we're at sidebar right now, I'm going to take a little break to run to the restroom because I've been having to pee for a minute, but I didn't want to miss anything. But I don't know that this mommy bladder is going to hold out much longer, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, you had a friend who couldn't swallow tablets. You had to crush them. My grandpa was the same way. We had to crush his tablets until like he screamed when he got really sick or hospice.
It depends. I mean, some medications they tell you do not brush them up.
Yeah, like slow release medications.
Right.
I don't know about you in the US, but my ADHD meds are controlled, and I can only get a prescription every so many days, every 28 days, and you only get one bottle at a time because,
yeah,
I think they're your Adamsol. I think they are what they've got a different name, but they are people use them on the street. People sell them on the street.
Right, that's the same here. But if your doctor prescribes different medication, if it's the same med, like ADHD med, but if they prescribe a anti-anxiety and then they pre-authorize and they prescribe a different brand, they'll dispense that.
But we would get in trouble if we had bottles of car. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? What? Because yeah, you're not supposed to leave them just random anyway.
I mean, we can have them in the car, but they have to be in their original car bottle. Because they can arrest you if they're not in the original bottle.
Yeah, with your name on it, showing that you're prescribed.
All right, sorry, guys.
I mean, I have to get some pretty good letters to fly with mine. I'm thinking the R over here. If I fly with mine, I have to get a sweater.
All right, let me get
But
comfy.
what confuses me is that you have the bottles in the kitchen, and then those was in the drawer, but they were all empty. And I'm thinking, maybe she got rid of them because she got new prescriptions.
Not all of them were empty, though. Did you hear him shaking them? Not all of them were empty. Some of them were, but not all of them. I thought he said 2, but he said those are empty, but not all of them are because you heard them jingling the pills. All right, let's get back to this.
Document these things as that would be.
All right. Sorry. The Ativan, I'm sure, was empty, though. Okay.
To your knowledge, sir, was she advised by nurse practitioner Tufts to keep a nighttime dump diary of all of her thoughts and write them down so that she had something that she could refer to?
Not that I'm aware of.
You ever see her writing notes in her diary or like a thing with dates on it, November 23rd, for example, things of that nature?
I knew she kept notes, but I didn't see her doing it.
When I show you this document, I ask, that appears to be her handwriting.
Yeah.
Can you guys see the
Indication as to her state of mind, particular date or dates thereafter.
Yeah.
Just take a look at the other page, make sure that we're all right.
Yeah.
You want to write it off of this?
Call.
Can I see it, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it from the state police, so let's assume you guys have it.
No objection.
Okay, that may be admitted.
I'm going to show you another document, Sarah. It appears to be a document.
Massachusetts, Sarah.
Handwriting. That document with dates, September 29th, for example, 22.
Yes.
And is that appear to be, can you tell us what that appears to be, sir, if you know?
Looks like a schedule for Callan.
And the schedule for Callan, that would be, what, like when he's eating or sleeping or something like that?
Yeah, naps. Yeah.
So for example, where it says September 29th, there it is, 22, and then it makes reference to Callan, last fed with a time frame, and then there's a bunch of pages like that that go forward on those dates. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Put him down for a nap, 9:35 with a smiley face, things like that, right?
Right.
Is this typical for Lindsay that she would document these things as a new mother?
Yeah.
Was she being controlling, in your opinion, of her child and of you by doing this schedule?
No, I found it helpful.
For this, I don't think there's
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, that may be admitted.
one of the things, sir, that
Why shop Mattress Warehouse? Because better sleep starts with better answers. Our patented bed match system matches your body and sleep style to the mattress that fits you best. Plus, you'll sleep easy with our lifetime price
Very type A,
guarantee.
yeah.
Mattress Warehouse.
This is so loud compared to him. Look
The
at
moment you
you.
realize
You're
they're
starting
wired
to-
for trouble.
the photograph of the same one you already introduced, but I just don't know. So this is the
I don't know.
photograph of the house. You can identify that, right?
Oh wait, we're at the window.
Yeah, that's the living room window.
Okay. And the window that you're talking about, that's 20 feet up, would be on the very top of that picture, correct?
Correct.
Now, when you identified this picture, and I can't see. You see that there's some kind of an orange ball, appears to be an orange ball underneath the sill
Yeah.
to the left.
An orange
Appears to
ball.
be red marks or red spots, like possibly blood.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Can you tell the jurors what that little orange ball is?
Yeah, we had a woodpecker who would peck at the house and create holes. That's why I paired some of the other sections too. And I took some foam and filled the hole.
I'd offer that, Your Honor, just continuity.
I'm not
That
sure
may
what.
be admitted.
And I'd also, if I may, just the top picture, I believe is also, see where it looks like fingerprints or blood on the edge of the window on the second floor. You see that? That's from the house?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Attorney Reddy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm talking about the Hornet thing right here. And then this is, I see on this top here. Okay, so you see on the top of this window here. It's not a very good picture. Underneath the Hornet thing, you can see it, but in the exhibit, you can see there's like blood drops or blood smears there.
Yep, I
That's
see it.
the first floor window that's directly underneath the second floor window, right?
Right.
Okay. I'd offer these-
So there was blood on the first floor window?
They may be admitted.
Anybody could put that there leaning against the window.
I'm all set. Thank you, sir.
All right. Commonwealth, redirect?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Mr. Clancy, you were shown an email, and it's been marked as an exhibit that you sent to coworkers on January 24th, 2023 at 5:24 p.m., correct?
Yeah.
And you were asked about it coming from the Surface Pro, but your testimony was that it could have come from your iPhone, correct?
Correct.
And in fact, you watched footage earlier of yourself going into the CVS in Kingston at 5:32 p.m., correct?
Correct.
And you had your phone with you, correct, because you used it? And we also saw you on the 3V footage using your phone as well, correct?
Right.
So you were clearly out of the house at 5:24 p.m., correct?
Sorry, what time did you say I was at CVS?
So you walked in at 5:32 p.m., correct?
Correct.
And you left the house. As you were leaving the house, Lindsay sent you the text about PDLX, correct?
I don't know if I had left the house yet, but yeah.
But that was sent at 5:15 p.m., correct?
Right.
And how far away is the Kingston CVS?
3 minutes.
Okay. And so you leave the house, you get into your car, and you drive to CVS, correct?
Correct.
And so that should have taken 3 minutes, correct?
Yep.
So after the text that was sent at 5:15 p.m., that would have been sometime around 5:18 or 5:20 p.m. that you should have arrived at CVS, correct?
Right.
But you don't go in until 5:32 p.m., correct?
I don't know.
We could
I don't know what time I pulled in the parking lot.
I'm not asking what time you pulled into the parking lot, but is it fair to say that the video that you were shown earlier shows you entering the store at 5:32 p.m.?
Yes.
So from the time you should have been at the parking lot of CVS around 5:20 p.m. until 5:32 p.m., could you have been in your car sending this email on your iPhone?
Yeah, I just don't know if I pulled into the parking lot at 5:20.
But sometime after the text was sent from Lindsay about PDLX, but before 5:32 p.m., you were in your car.
Correct. Okay. Yes.
You also can send emails on a schedule. I send emails on schedule.
My questions to you about going to Boston, and my questions to you were about December 3rd, not December 2nd, correct?
Correct.
Because your anniversary is December 3rd, not December 2nd, correct?
Right.
So Dawson was taken to the doctors on December 2nd, correct?
Correct.
And on December 3rd, did you have plans? Not that they were followed through, but did you have plans to go to Boston that day?
Yeah, so I can provide some clarification on that.
Sure.
So yeah, on Monday I was a little bit confused by it because we were home. But yeah, I think there was a plan prior to that, like an anniversary plan to go to Boston, but it was canceled.
Okay.
And the picture you showed was from September.
So the plans that you had to go to Boston, showing you here. Some text messages between yourself and Lindsay. And here, there's one here that says, the spa at the Omni is booked, but you're on the wait list. As a backup, I have you booked for massage at the nearby IHG for 90 minutes at 1:45. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then you later say we can get lunch and then head over. She responds, okay. And then you write that they'll let you use the gym and the pool while she's getting her massage. Is that correct?
Right.
And then you talk about plans for lunch and dinner. And so there were the plans, they just fell through, right?
Yeah, we canceled them, yeah.
So it's not as if I made that up out of thin air. That's here in the text messages, correct?
Right, yeah. It was just confusing because we were home. But yeah, when I left.
So he answered your question. He just
that,
didn't give clarification, which you should have asked him for.
And was that from the wedding you went to?
Yeah.
If we could have the text messages marked as specific.
Any objection? That may be admitted.
So she had plans for a spa and a massage and then ended up not going. I don't know that works in her favor.
Now, in cross-examination, you said that Lindsay always took the medications exactly as instructed. But in direct, you said you weren't always with her every time she took the pills. Is that correct?
That's correct, but the understanding was that she took it as directed.
Because she told you she did?
Yeah.
And because you trusted her to do so?
Yeah.
Okay. But you can't sit here and say definitively that she took every pill exactly as instructed every single time because you didn't watch her every time, correct?
I was not standing next to her every time she took pills.
And you were asked about the Facebook search in August 23rd, 2022. And you were asked about being on the Surface Pro and looking up the country singer who had killed himself. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. So I think that what you said when you were asked by defense counsel about whether or not you accidentally went to this site on methods of suicide, you said that could be likely, that might have happened. You're not sure, correct?
It's so subtle that I don't remember specifically, but I do remember listening to Tom T. Hall.
Okay. How often did you listen to him?
It was like for a week.
Okay. And so were you aware that on 8/23, August 23rd, 2022, at 9:40 a.m., someone signed into Lindsay's Facebook account on the Surface Pro?
No.
And then at 9:43 p.m. is when the Tom Hall site was accessed. Do you recall that?
Yeah.
And at 9:45 a.m. is when a person not just hit a link by accident, but actually had to click on a link to go to suicide methods. Are you aware of that?
No.
Okay. Is there any reason why you would have been going in and logging on to Lindsay's Facebook account while going on Wikipedia and looking at suicide methods all in that same 5 minutes?
I didn't log into Lindsay's Facebook ever. It's very possible that I looked at Tom Hall's Wikipedia page, but
At some point?
yeah.
Do you remember spending 3 minutes on the Methods of Suicide site, scrolling through and reading the Methods of Suicide site for 3 minutes?
No, I don't remember something I did for 3 minutes almost 4 years ago.
Do you remember being on that site, the Methods of Suicide, and clicking on a link to a bridge in Australia that people use to commit suicide?
No.
No. So in this 5 minutes or so where someone's using the Surface Pro.
Why would a
using
bridge in
Lindsay's
Australia
Facebook
help her if she was
while
trying to
doing
commit
that,
suicide,
and
though?
then
That makes no
clicking on
sense.
these links
Sorry.
You don't remember. You think it might have been you?
I have no idea.
Okay. Now, you talked about Lindsay's stay at McLean Hospital. You said that it was a locked ward. She had to stay there. Is that correct?
Correct.
But it was a voluntary commitment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You didn't file any legal paperwork to have her committed, correct?
Correct.
So voluntary can become involuntary
correct?
very quickly.
So if she wanted to leave and expressed to the doctors that she wanted to leave, and they didn't believe she was a danger to herself or others, she could leave, correct?
To be honest, I don't know.
Okay. Now, you stated on direct examination that you visited her 2 times during the time that she was there at McLean, right?
At least twice, yeah.
And you said those were in the evening hours, is that correct?
Yeah, afternoon, evening.
Afternoon and evening. So you weren't there during the morning and early afternoon?
Nature's miracle. Permanently eliminate tough odors.
She seems,
and
I'm going to go
stains
back
at
to
the
a little bit, guys.
source.
She seems a little bit mad.
It's about time signing up for renter's insurance took a second.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When so in this 5 minutes or so where someone's using the Surface Pro, using Lindsay's Facebook while doing that, and then clicking on these links you don't remember, you think it might have been you?
I have no idea.
Okay. Now, you talked about Lindsay's stay at McLean Hospital. You said that it was a locked ward. She had to stay there. Is that correct?
Correct.
But it was a voluntary commitment, wasn't it?
Yeah,
You didn't file any legal paperwork to have her committed, correct?
correct.
There was no court order making her stay there, correct?
Correct.
So if she wanted to leave and expressed to the doctors that she wanted to leave, and they didn't believe she was a danger to herself or others, she could leave, correct?
To be honest, I don't know.
Okay. Now, you stated on direct examination that you visited her 2 times during the time that she was there at McLean, right?
At least twice, yeah.
And you said those were in the evening hours, is that correct?
Yeah, afternoon, evening.
Afternoon and evening. So you weren't there during the morning and early afternoon hours when they were offering these group therapies and when she was meeting with other practitioners?
I wasn't there in the morning.
And were you there during the when the staff was checking on her every 15 minutes?
No, but she did tell me about that.
Okay. And were you aware that she was evaluated several times and at first she had to stay on the unit, but then eventually based on what she was telling them, she was allowed to go on the grounds with staff?
I was aware that she went on at least one walk.
Okay. And so people were seeing her and interacting with her and changing the way her stay went at McLean Hospital throughout her stay.
Yeah.
And you talked about Dr. Goodhart recommending
Going on a walk with the
medications.
staff is not
What
the
was the
same as
medication
therapy.
that you said that she recommended?
I thought it was Cymbalta, but I think she ended up taking amitriptyline.
That's not considered group therapy.
Looking here at the CVS records that you provided, we see, I'm sorry, here we go. So we see here, here we go. Aaliyah Goodhart, second from the bottom.
Yep.
Trazodone, 50 milligrams. So you thought that Dr. Goodhart had just recommended medication when there was actually a prescription that was given by Dr. Goodhart, correct?
Right, but I believe, so there's another one as well, lorazepam. I believe those are prescribed while she was staying there.
And so they were filled at CVS and sent to McLean?
Possibly. I remember there was an issue where she didn't have her medications when she went to McLean, so she needed.
That's a
them to be
common
there.
issue
She was discharged
at
on January 5th,
inpatient
correct?
hospitals
Right.
and
Are
facilities.
you aware that this document from CVS says that the prescription for Trazodone 50 milligrams prescribed by Dr. Aaliyah Goodhart was filled on January 5th, 2023?
Right.
Okay. And then the other prescription by Dr. Goodhart, the lorazepam, was also 1 milligram lorazepam was also filled on January 5th, 2023, correct?
Yeah.
So that's when she was discharged, not while she was staying there, correct?
Right. That's correct.
So Dr. Goodhart did in fact prescribe medication for Lindsay, Trazodone and Ativan, and not Cymbalta, correct?
She recommended Cymbalta, but she wasn't the one who prescribed that.
And in fact, no one prescribed that, correct?
Because it ended up switching to amitriptyline.
And the amitriptyline was prescribed by Dr. Jennifer Tufts, correct?
Right.
And
Yeah, this is.
and Dr. Tufts prescribed 5 milligrams of diazepam on January 9th, 2023, correct?
Right.
To wean her off of the rest of the benzos.
Amitriptyline on January 16th. It was 10 milligrams of amitriptyline. And that was prescribed when Lindsay said she was having some issues with depression, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So she went to McLean Hospital and she was weaned off the Seroquel, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
And all the medications that she had taken prior to going to McLean, she was no longer on, those were gone, correct? Once she'd been in McLean.
I don't know if it was, I'm not sure. I don't know if it was all of them.
Well, did you have conversations with your wife about what she was taking?
You're
I mean,
asking
were you
him to remember
aware that she
something
was
wild
only
that he
on
wouldn't.
only prescribed trazodone and Ativan when she left McLean, and then amitriptyline was only added on the 16th? So just those 3 medications?
Yeah, but I thought she was taking trazodone before McLean.
Right. So she had been prescribed it before and stopped taking it, correct?
I don't remember. I'd have to look back on records.
So you're not sure about what she was taking and when, are you?
Not the exact dates, but I remember she was taking trazodone, and I thought she was taking it before McLean.
So the best resource of what she was prescribed and when would most likely be the doctors and the CVS records then, correct?
The CVS records is a good resource.
And you talked about the pills and how these were pills that she was no longer on. So it wasn't really a good representation of what she had taken, correct?
Correct.
But she was only prescribed Zoloft once, right? At the very beginning?
Right.
And she only took 7 of those pills, correct?
Right.
So it wasn't as if she was prescribed a higher dose or a different dose of Zoloft and was still taking that. And so that 7 pills misrepresents the Zoloft she took, right?
I believe she switched because, or she stopped because she was switched to Prozac.
Okay. And then even going forward, the Prozac, there weren't many pills taken out of that either, correct?
Yeah, eventually she stopped that as well.
Okay. So she'd take a few pills, she'd have some side effects, they'd switch the medication, correct?
Yeah.
Amazon offers hourly
I
employees
don't
health
know where
care for
this
$5
woman's
a
going
week
now.
with $5 copays.
These meals changed everything for me. I'll
Because
admit
now
it,
you're
I was
trying to get the
skeptical about ready
guy
to eat meals, but then I
to
tried
say
Factor.
something that he can't
With the
say.
Seroquel, correct?
That was part of it, yeah.
And they weaned her off of that, right?
What was going on?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then after McLean, she's only on the trazodone, the Ativan, and then on the 16th, adding in the amitriptyline, correct?
Right.
You mentioned that you went to New York in November of 2022. Defense counsel said that was a month before the children were killed, but that's actually 2 months before they were killed, correct?
It was, it was about a little more than 2 months.
And she hadn't been on the Seroquel yet, right?
I don't know exactly when she started the Seroquel.
Would December sound right?
Yeah, or end of November, yeah.
And so when you took your trip to New York, she was having some issues, but she was doing okay, wasn't she?
How does he know?
Much better than she was in December.
Okay. And did you also take another trip with Cora in November?
Yeah, so I did the trip to New York, and as soon as I got back, went to bed, and then the next morning left with Cora.
And was that November 4th through the 7th to San Francisco?
Yeah.
And who was taking care of Dawson and Callan while you were in San Francisco with Cora?
Lindsay.
And so during your trip to New York, and then immediately after your trip to San Francisco with Cora, were there any issues or any problems, or did anything happen while Lindsay was caring for those kids?
Nothing bad happened. She was, I would say her anxiety and depression was starting to tick up, but yeah, obviously nothing bad happened.
Okay. And it's your testimony that things started to get worse in December. Is that correct?
Correct.
But it was also your testimony that after the stay at McLean, things got better, wasn't it? And she steadily progressed throughout January, getting better, right?
Definitely, yeah.
And on January 24th, 2023, you testified that that was one of her best days.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Lady?
You were asked about the Apple Watch. The police didn't collect the Apple Watch, right? They did collect her phone, correct? You identified it earlier, right?
Correct, yeah.
And her Apple Watch was linked to her phone, was it not?
It probably was, yeah.
Probably. He doesn't know.
You were also asked about the drop from the second floor window. Were you aware that the measurement from the windowsill to the ground was actually 12 feet?
I've never measured it, but yeah, I believe what you're saying.
And
so what does that mean? I'm going to pause this for a second, guys. I'm not sure where they're trying to go with the 12-foot. You jump out of you jump off something 12 foot high, you can absolutely kill yourself. Like, I just want people to know that. Like, so 5 less feet means what? She wasn't trying to kill herself? Like, well, she was trying to paralyze herself? You can't make that make sense to me.
Looking for one of the exhibits from Defense Counsel. It's the, yes. Exhibit 84. This was the packet here that Defense Counsel was going through with you, where you said this is Lindsay writing Callan's schedule. Is that right?
Right.
But this was also Lindsay sending notes back and forth between herself and Elaine. Is that correct?
Possibly.
Because there's different writing here, correct? Want to look at it?
Yeah.
For example, this first page after the cover, we have writing here that you said was Lindsay's, correct?
It looks like it, yeah.
And then down here, there's a note that's in different handwriting, correct?
Yeah, I would say so.
So were you aware that Lindsay was using this notebook to communicate back and forth with the nanny about Callan's care?
She had different notebooks. She always had a notebook that she would leave for the babysitter or for me.
And so, for example, on Tuesday, September 4th, she wrote, last fed at 6 a.m. Give him a bottle whenever he wakes up. He likes it very warm. He's been resisting the bottle. If he won't drink it after 45 minutes of trying, please text me to let me know. Put down for next nap 1 hour after he wakes. Try to put down drowsy but awake. But if he cries, pick him up and rock, bounce, or hold him until asleep, then put down. He usually sleeps 45 minutes, but let him sleep as long as he wants. These are very detailed notes that Lindsay is sending to the nanny, correct?
Yeah.
And then she also wrote, if you have time, wash and cut up veggies, sweet potatoes, 1-inch cubes peeled, broccoli, small pieces, peppers, 1-inch pieces, plastic Ziploc bags to put them in. Next bottle, 2.5 hours after the first bottle, correct?
I believe what you're reading, yeah.
So very particular about what she wanted the nanny to do, how she wanted her to do it, and when to
When was this?
When to put him down for a nap, all of those things. Very particular, correct?
Sounds like it, yeah.
Again, Thursday, September 29, 2022. Callan last fed at 8:45. Please put him down for a nap at 9:35. We will be home from gymnastics at 11:45. Clean clothes and dryer if you get to it. So again, very specific times for putting him down and when to get up and asking her to do additional work like laundry and things like that, correct?
Yeah.
Again, October 6th, 8 at 8:15, fell asleep at 8:40. Changing tables now in the bathroom. If he wakes before 9:40, give him 15 minutes to settle himself back to sleep. I'm hoping he will sleep till 10:15. If he is still asleep at 10:40, wake him. Feeding at 11 a.m. First try bottle. If he doesn't take it after 15 minutes, make oatmeal. 2 tablespoons of oatmeal. Make thin with breast milk. Can heat for 5 to 10 seconds. Again, very
Stephanie,
specific
thank you for the
directions on
follow.
what
I
she wants
appreciate
done,
it.
how she wants Callan cared for, correct?
Yeah.
And throughout this notebook, it's more of the same, correct? Or have you even seen that?
I haven't seen it, yeah.
I have nothing further. Thank you.
I don't know what that just proved, but okay.
That would have been Elaine Rossi.
And Elaine Rossi, how long was she the nanny for you guys?
A month or two, yeah, probably 2 months.
And then she just needed more hours and moved on, and Lindsay was home, so.
Yeah, I think she preferred more hours. We couldn't really give it to her, and Lindsay was home anyway, so.
And as far as the records are concerned, it's fair to say that Lindsay, as a concerned mother, would give instructions to people that would be taking care of her infant?
Yeah, I would have done the same.
A lot of discussion about these prescriptions and scripts from the different doctors. And one of the things you referenced was that you believe that she was on trazodone. And if I suggest to you that there was a Dr. Izad Parayarara Kavon on November 16th of 22 that prescribed 50 milligrams of trazodone while she was on buspirone and fluoxetine. Does that refresh your memory that in November she was prescribed 50 grams of trazodone?
Yeah, I remember trazodone being like a part of the medication plan for a while.
And one of the things that you did, as we talked about, is you went to CVS and you got a list of all the drugs, right?
Right.
And if I suggest to you, sir, that this is just an easy reference with different colors for different doctors of exactly what the CVS provided, does that appear to be fair and accurate of the scripts that were provided?
Yeah.
Can I see which one that is, please? No objection.
Okay, that may be admitted.
Not aboard.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. You may step down. Thank you.
Okay.
Counsel, could I see you?
All right. This is getting good. I feel like they're getting somewhere now. Not another sidebar. What is happening?
Evening. We'll come back here
All right, it's over.
around 3 or 4. All right. So that's the thing. Remember, I'm going to ask you those questions about not talking about the case, not doing any research about it. I don't watch anything about it. You have to keep an open mind. At this point, you've heard some evidence, but you haven't heard all the evidence. You haven't heard the law that you are to apply to the evidence. So you've got to, at this point, you've got to keep struggling in a sense, keep that open mind. So I'm going to excuse you. I hope you have a nice evening. We'll come back here tomorrow morning. If I forget to tell you, tomorrow, Friday, we're still on schedule to take that view.
So we're taking the House floor on Friday.
We come in tomorrow. That's as best I can tell you. That's the schedule for tomorrow. So again, thank you so much for all your work on this case so far. I hope you have a nice evening. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
No, no, with the House? No, somebody else does.
It's in New York. Okay. Can't hold the wax. Oh no, I'm more alert than the down fly.
She looks exhausted.
It looks checked out to me.
Yeah, drained.
So we'll be in recess on this matter till tomorrow.
Well, they showed her crying. She turned her head and was crying.
Stop.
Yeah. That's really, I don't know. I saw where he was going. My problem with this guy is that he needs to get there a little faster because you're losing people in the process. You know what I mean? Like I saw, it took like an entire 45 minutes for me to realize why he kept questioning December.
Yeah, that's why I said in the comments I like that lady a bit more, because I get the speed of questioning more, not what she's saying, but the fact that she just goes, where was that guy lost me in between?
Yeah, he takes detours.
So there's too many pauses for me. I couldn't keep up.
Yeah, and I was trying to write down notes and still had a hard time seeing where he was going, and then he finally connects it at the end. The problem is you lost me on the journey. You know what I mean? Like you finally got to the destination, but I got lost taking the detours along the journey. And that's the problem for me. That's where I feel like he's going to get lost. And I need you to pull in a little emotion. They're playing on the jury's emotion. You need to also. And I feel like he just struggles with the emotional aspect of it. So yeah, I thought it was really, really interesting. Kellyanne, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I thought it was really interesting. The bottles that were found and like the point that he was making. I get the 12-foot drop. I get that's a difference between 17. However, I mean, obviously she was trying to kill herself because who tries to paralyze himself? Like, I don't know where they were trying to go with that one. You know what I mean? The husband does not live there. He now lives in New York with his new wife, and they sold that house. That they no longer live there. Somebody else owns it now.
There's no proof that there's a baby.
I have
Just
not.
got married this past April to the new wife.
Yeah, I've not seen any proof that anything that showed that he had a baby. I feel like 3 years isn't really that long. I mean, is really not that short. You know what I mean? Like,
It's not.
yeah, like he had time to, you know what I mean, go through everything. I just feel like no, I'm not. I don't think it's 3 years is too soon. Nobody said any proof of
That's
cheating.
long to me. I mean, after my husband passed away, I think it was like a year and a half before I dated someone. And then after that one person that I dated, I'm like, I'm done. I'm good. I'm good for the rest of my life. Sorry.
And what I found really interesting that I didn't know was the traveling. So he was gone. How long did I have to go back and I have to write this down? He was gone in New York for 3 or 4 days, right?
No, it was 2 days. And then
2 days, 2 nights. So on the third day he came back, went to sleep that night. The next day he left for another 4 or 5.
Yes.
So pretty much she had the majority of the kids for the week by herself. And I can see where the stress started adding up, right? And then you also have to remember that he was going out, and other than doctor's appointments and gymnastics, do we see that she congregated with friends and had a social outlet?
But she didn't want to.
Do you know that?
Well, they said that they set up plans to do whatever they were doing New Year's, and it all set up, and she decided she didn't want to go.
Well, he didn't say that she decided she didn't want to go. He said the plans fell through. We don't know why the plans fell through. We didn't see that she said it was because she didn't want to go. But at that point in December, like she would have already had been at that point of like, you know what I mean?
Before I heard the lawyer say that he asked the question to him, what happened, and he said she didn't want to go.
I didn't see that, but that also makes sense because now we're already months past that, right? We're only a month before when things started getting worse.
Right.
So it makes sense to me that at that point she wanted to check out. And again, it wasn't like that was time with her girlfriends where she could talk and really, I mean, that was time with him really too, right? They were both going like kind of a date night, but where is her time away from being mom and husband?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think she was a little OCD because she meticulously wrote things down. They're very detailed, especially to the babysitter there.
See, I don't know about OCD, but definitely type A, right? Like very particular about what she does. I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
And I think he just let her do it. I think he was used to that. You know, her doing that instead of him taking over and realizing what was going on at the time.
Right.
Like he wasn't really paying attention that close.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely can see where things started becoming overwhelming with her and how things were getting out worse. Right? Like
that's when I said something clicked between the last child and the baby, just for me.
Yeah.
That something shifted in their marriage between them. The baby was like a make or break, you know, people have a baby to try and save a marriage, don't they?
No, I just don't understand why they had what's the decision to have the third child, knowing that she had issues before.
Yeah. I mean, she did have issues before, but they were handled easily and weren't that out of hand. So, you know what I mean? Like, I can see why.
But I mean, it was longer than like baby blues or something like that, so she was having issues after that.
Mhm,
Well,
she
the
did.
first one was very light.
Right.
The second one, it got worse.
Right.
And then the third one, oh.
Yeah. I feel like people who suffer from postpartum depression, it usually doesn't stop them. I think because if it was handled, they have that ideology that it'll be handled again. Like, we'll take care of it. We know what to do. Does that make sense?
It does.
Because I feel like I don't see postpartum depression for a lot of people, stopping them from continuing to have children.
I don't know. Wow. I don't know. I mean, if they knew how to handle it, that wouldn't have happened.
Well, they did handle it the first time. She got better, right?
No, I'm talking about by the third time. If they
Well, right.
knew how
Well,
to deal with it.
I agree. I think in her mind they handled it with the second one, but then the third time shit just got out of control. I agree.
Yeah.
You know, it definitely wasn't handled the way it should have been or the way it was the second time. In fact, I don't believe that they were the same situation, right? Usually expecting the same thing. But it definitely was getting worse each pregnancy. I agree.
Yeah, I think by the time she had the third one, I think she felt maybe she got to the point where she didn't realize she felt overwhelmed. Like I said, the second child was a difficult child for her.
Mm-hmm.
And having the third one, thinking that she wasn't able to spend, in her mind, enough time with the baby.
Right. But nobody knows that beforehand. You know what I mean? I know that from experience that you don't realize what it's going to be like until it is, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I'm trying to see how I feel about the stuff that they brought out. I don't know that it changed my mind much. I did learn some things, which I appreciate, like his traveling, and I can see again how that kind of escalated towards the end. It got a little bit more stressful, especially with that infant at home. You know what I mean? The lack of sleep.
I would have liked them to ask the question after they were talking about his traveling.
Yeah.
How she felt about that.
Right.
Like
I
it,
agree.
or
Did she complain about it?
no, I wish you wouldn't go.
I want to know where you went. Where did you go?
Yeah.
Like they said San Francisco, but I want to know, why did Cora go with you? You know what I mean? Like, was it something for her? Was it something where mom would have went, but like you didn't want to be home with the kids? Why didn't you take the difficult child? Because I know that if I'm going to get stuck home with all of the kids, then I'll usually tell my husband, do me a favor, at least take one of them, take the hard one, and I'll keep the rest of them, right? Like it kind of balances it out for me. I could deal with a couple of them, but
Even turns, because he did take the difficult one skiing.
yeah, but that was just for the day. That was a day trip, though. That was just, you know what I mean? That wasn't a way. That's why I would have liked them to question the whole trip with Cora more, because I want to know, what made you take Cora? Was it a thing for Cora? You know what I mean? Like, it could be.
Yeah, I think they need to go into a little bit more detail on some
Yeah.
of these questions.
Yeah.
Because it just leaves you wondering, why did he take her and go? Sure.
Yeah.
Thing, with any of the trips that he went on.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like, yeah, he didn't say why. We know he went for work to New York, but he didn't say why he went to California with Cora and why it was Cora. So what you did was you took Cora, but then left her with the difficult kid and the newborn or the infant, right? Like, what the hell?
It's not the eldest. Who's Cora, the middle or the eldest?
Cora's
She's
the
the
oldest.
Right, okay.
And so at 5, the kids are usually more helpful girls, or a little bit. I just feel like if Dawson was, unless it was for Cora and Cora needed to go, you left me with the 2 hardest kids at that point, right? You left me with the newborn or the infant, and then left me with the difficult child.
Plus, she also had his family, and then her mom and dad. I mean, I think I don't know what her mindset was, but I think, what do you think at the time? If she felt that way, like she knew in her head. When did she say, "Hey, can you come over and help me today?"
Right.
Feel this way.
But we don't know that she did, but I know that they have to travel, right? They're not close. I don't think either set of parents are close, if I'm not mistaken. I got to look that up. Let me write that down.
Her parents, her parents and his parents, they live in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where the other ones live. I'm not sure.
Yeah. His parents are one town over.
So it's her parents.
Yeah. Her parents helped a lot, his not so much. I don't know.
And they were farther away, and they helped more, you say?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Her mother-in-law was still working at the hospital. That does kind of make sense to me. If they have schedules and they're still working and they can't take the time away, or, you know. I don't know. I feel like it left me with more questions now that I can't get answered.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when they searched the house for the medication, they didn't check her room. That was the last spot she was in. You found the cup where she crushed her pills. She drank it. You saw the knife up on the table, but you didn't search the room. That's as far as you went.
Usually they check little dressers or whatever and open the drawers.
Yeah.
And check everything.
And those were found after the police went in there and confiscated the meds and went in there for that reason. So I don't know. And I have a big question on why he had those meds. I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying the guy did anything, but I do have a lot of questions surrounding those medications in the car and the doctor telling him, take them from her, and him having them. I do want to go back. Let me write this note for myself.
They blow my mind that they were everywhere. They're upstairs in a nightstand. They were in the kitchen. They were out in his car. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, and you only took some of them, but yeah, I don't know. And if they were empty, it showed she actually was taking more than the prosecution was trying to put on that she was taking, that she did take, you know, as prescribed for a little bit longer than what they were trying to put out that she was taking. So, and you know,
The ones in the kitchen, they were going by the ones in the kitchen. They were saying there was 2 left out of one, 7 left out of another one.
right. But I find it funny that they also didn't check the rest of the house to see if there were any more anywhere, like the bedroom.
Right.
So, yeah, and you know, you did say something about OCD, but and I know OCD is one of those things that goes along with this. Like, it's usually a compound, right? It can compound. It makes sense. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like I have more questions. I question things now. I need to be asking the questions.
To me, it's like what I'm saying. I see the OCD that she was so meticulous in everything she did that maybe in her head that also drove her a little bit crazy because she had to do it and she was very particular about the things she does.
Right. And when things started getting difficult and overwhelming, her plan couldn't be carried out, or her organization couldn't be carried out as she planned. And yeah, that can send people like really, that's really difficult. I don't have OCD, but I'm very type A. I know it can drive me a little nuts when things don't go my way, right? The way I expect them to. I need to know my next move always, you know what I mean? So, and it can feel a lot of like, you know, when you have a lot of kids or a bunch of little ones, for me, when I have my kids, the organization and knowing every step of our day made my life that much easier. I knew where we were till nap time. I knew where we were, you know, things that surprised me and threw my day off, threw my kids off, then their moods became, it was just overwhelming. So I get that, where it can topple. Yeah.
Sometimes people can do that because they're trying to justify themselves as well.
Yeah.
I mean, she could be writing all that stuff because he might have asked her, what have you been doing today? I mean, some men go, what have you been doing today? What have you been at work, earning the money? And sometimes it's like in hindsight, in case you've ever asked to justify what you do. That's just me, I do that, as if someone else might ask for what I've done, so I write it. So, do you understand what I mean? It's like, was he trying to justify not only in the road head, but in case maybe her mother-in-law and that was quite questioning and stuff, you don't know.
Yeah.
She felt like she had to prove it, so she had to make down to prove what she, like, in case anyone said anything, she had it written.
Yeah.
Someone could have been quite overbearing for her and asking her to write it down.
Yeah. I don't know.
She was doing all these other things too as well. Like somebody was just saying her obsessing about the exercise and all that other stuff. I mean, there was a lot of times he worked at home in the basement. So at the same time, he's worried about her because she did worse. Plus, he's also helping take care of the kids as well. He's probably all overwhelmed himself. You know?
My question is though, was he really helping take care of the kids, or was he just there? And anybody who had a husband while they were parenting be home knows exactly what I mean about, was he there helping or was he just there? You know, like there are times when my husband's like, I'll stay home and help you, but you're just here. The help really is not there. You know, it's just he thinks that him just being here to be the cheerleader in the background might be a little bit more help than, you know, I don't know.
It was probably hard.
What's this?
Because they were in that house constantly. They really didn't go anywhere.
You made that? Who's this for? Oh.
Bringing it home tonight, but you have.
Oh, I just hold on. I gotta show you guys what my grandson made. Hold on. It's so cute. All right. His little picture frame. He came in just to show me. It's amazing. Here you go. You did a good job, Bubba. Give me a kiss. Okay. I love you. Okay. Oh, he's so cute. He came in just to show me his little picture frame. Yeah, I don't know, man.
He was working in the basement, and the kids were in the basement when she put them there, right?
Yeah, but yes.
How did you not see them when he came upstairs?
No, he wasn't working.
He was out. He was out. Remember, this happened while he was out getting the food and at the pharmacy. Yeah. But my whole thing is everyone keeps saying in the basement. And I feel like that's a bad word to use because when you say in the basement, we all picture a basement, right? It is, however, it doesn't function. It doesn't function as a basement in their house. In their house, it actually functions like a living room, right? They said they had a TV down there, couches, a sitting area. You know, they had a gym, they had an office. So it was really a floor of the house. Not necessarily, it was, you know what I mean? It was a place where they hung out, watched TV. It wasn't like the basement. Like,
They used to call them finished basements.
yeah, it's a finished basement. So I feel like
Just called it a basement because I had in my house before I came to my dad's to take care of him. My house, our basement was finished, but I still called it the basement.
right. I agree. It's still the basement. However, I think when you say, oh, she's put him in the basement, who else pictured them sitting on the hard concrete floor in the dark with the things around their neck? No, they were near the, you know what I mean?
We got basements over here. We have basements. To me, it's like a cellar, dark.
A cellar, yes. A basement is a cellar. Yeah.
Because we
I imagined a finished basement.
See, you did, but a lot of people don't. And I think the word basement is getting to people. So I want people to understand that it was a finished basement. It was a living room. It had a couch. It had multiple rooms. It had a home office. It was a very nice setup. It was like another floor of the house, not necessarily the basement in terms that. Well, I'm just saying what it would function as is not really, because I think that when you say basement, people are picturing just a cold, not finished basement. So I just want to make sure that people who are hearing basement may not know all are understanding that this basement wasn't actually like a cellar or a basement. It was a finished floor of a house, a lower level. Yeah. Even though technically it's a basement, it was finished as another floor in their house. It was used as another floor in their house, not technically used as a basement would be used that wasn't finished. And I think that makes a difference for people who are just coming in and realizing, oh, it wasn't like a cold cellar, you know, it was, and it makes sense to me if that's where they were, they finished eating, come downstairs. And then if it happened downstairs, then it makes sense to me why the bands were used, because it was easy access. They were right there. And to me, that proves spur of the moment. You know what I mean? Like,
The question: do you have lofts above? Like we have lofts as in
Attics?
extend your house? No.
They
But
didn't.
We have them not basements, so we have above that we can extend, not down.
So an attic
Does that make
type,
sense? We have lofts.
like, yeah, we call them attics, but I had a redone finished attic where I had a bedroom up in it and it had a bathroom. We had a bathroom placed in it.
It's a new way for me to look.
We do have lofts over here, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's the depends on the type of house it's built.
And I think for me, when you say loft in a house, it's kind of that extra floor, but not necessarily closed off. Like I consider a loft like a not closed off. Yeah. Where an attic, I've seen finished
If you
attics.
visualize what we say of that as the same we visualize a basement, you know, when you said as in not used and not, I'm trying to think, is that what a loft is to us, that a basement would be?
Yeah.
You know, you saw a picture of a loft in.
Yeah. I definitely think so. I think that's a good comparison.
Yeah, I think
Omar.
so.
Mhm. Yeah. I don't know.
Patty said he had a girlfriend.
No, I don't know.
You know, I find it funny that wasn't. I feel like if there was, they would have brought that in because then all of a sudden that's a reason to spiral, right? Like when now you're cheating on me, I'm taking care of these babies, you were out doing your thing. That would have added to the psychotic break. You know what I mean? So
a lot of people are putting out misinformation. Like
yeah,
I said.
I have
He just
seen
got
no.
married on April 6th of this year. That I found proof of. But
Yeah.
there is no proof that he has another child.
Yeah.
And there's no proof he was seeing her right before this happened.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah.
It's do your homework a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't seen any proof yet. Let me just put that out there. But I feel like if there's proof, we're gonna see it because that definitely adds to the psychotic break because infants and all the kids and postpartum and depression and a possible bipolar underneath, and then you're gonna add in my husband's cheating on me after I did all this. Oh no, that would cause I would just break. I'd snap at that point. That's an episode of Snap.
Yeah, and you gotta look at his side too. I know with dealing with someone like that, and as time goes on, the more it's very exhausting to deal with as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. So I feel like after today, although I like the fact that they're starting to make a little bit of sense because they were just rambling yesterday. I'm interested in tomorrow to see what happens. He's still on the stand, right? So, or is he done? He might be done.
Well, they dismissed him and called him, and then
They did,
just started
right?
talking
So he's
about-
done. And I wonder who tomorrow's going to be. But
He said, I don't remember what he said now.
Yeah.
I have to go back and look.
Yeah.
And then I guess they switched it to Friday for the road trip.
Yeah, it's Friday. So yeah, I need to go back and read my notes and see where my head is. As of right now, I still see a possible psychotic break, right? That's still where I'm heading. But, you know, it just depends on what else comes out. So I'm curious to see if that'll change my mind.
Yeah, I'm very curious for Friday. I just want to see the whole area. I think it'll.
Yes, to see how it flows. Because now remember, they didn't have a dining room. It was more of like a play area. Yeah, I feel like seeing the house, but it doesn't help if their house is set up like a normal house was and not their house. Does that make sense? Like, because how did their house flow? Was there like, obviously, I feel like they would have spent more time in that basement, is how they made it sound. But if you have a house set up like a regular house, it wouldn't make so much sense. So I'm curious to see how that'll play out.
They would have to explain if anything was changed in the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's the matter, Maury? Oh no. Sorry, the little guy just came in to tell on my daughter. Thank you, AK. Hey. Yeah. He's so funny. He's come to tell grandma that she's not sharing. My ball, yeah, she took the ball. And that one loves Moo. That was Amari. He loves Moo. He comes in all the time to chase Moo. They play. Yeah, I'm just curious to see how this rolls out. So I will be here for court tomorrow, but I want to go through the notes that I've taken, guys, and really think about it all and see if I come up with anything. We should do a battle again if you were all up for it. Oh, AK, we can. We could do that. Absolutely. You tell me when and where. I'll be there. That's so funny.
Do you have the transcript to the 911 call?
I do. We still don't have.
Send it to me?
Absolutely. We still don't have that Google Drive page thing, right? Oh, good night, one and only. It's her bedtime.
Want me to try and get it in one place, and because I can do that if you want.
Oh, that would
If
be.
you or try and get, I think everything needs to be in one place, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Whatever, but I can have a look at it if you want to.
Yeah, if we can.
Yeah, just to put it on a Google Drive or something.
Yeah, if we can do that.
Samantha was working on that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, sorry.
It's-
I might miss that. Sorry, Sam.
Sunday night. I'm available Sunday night. AK. Hey Sam, have you started on that? Do you still want to do it, or I don't even know if Sam's. Oh, she said yes. Okay. All right. Sunday night, AK. Well, I'll be there. Not AK coming in here being like, I'm there. Sounds like a plan. But yeah, we will get everything together. I will send it to you, Jamie.
Thank you.
And then we will put it all together for you guys to see that. Somebody just asked me if I can read that. So I'm going to shut my screen off. Give me 1 second and I'll pull it up, guys. And we'll go through the 911 transcript one more time.
Yeah, I'm better at reading things and looking at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hold on. Why is my screen so big? Were you? What do you think, AK? What do you think about the Lindsay Clancy thing? Come on up, AK.
Yeah, come up and tell us.
Oh, yeah. I want to know what you think. Hey.
I mean, I think that it's really, really super unfortunate, but I do blame the medical people.
So you think that it could have been a psychotic break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she literally, you know, if she wouldn't have hurt herself, I would probably have thought differently.
Right.
But, like, she just didn't want to deal with anything anymore, I don't think. And I think that
I don't know. I have a hard time with the reason. Yeah, it's okay. She wanted to hurt herself, but to take the kids too. Well, so sad.
Yeah. But
I actually I watched your where you had her journal in your background, where you were reading that.
Yep.
And that really says a lot. Just that little piece about her not knowing if her other kid will feel as loved as her other ones, or
and feeling resentment a little bit. Yeah.
yeah.
And that was in October.
Herself, you know, then, and really honestly think that the medical providers really failed her, to be honest.
Now, AK, you're a nurse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like everything that was done, they didn't pick up any of the red flags, in my opinion. I feel like as a nurse, there's so many things that I would have picked up on that I don't know why they didn't.
Right. Wondering if, you know, your kids are loved enough, especially after giving birth to another child. That's a clear sign.
Yeah.
Of postpartum, something, you know. I mean, it's a normal thing to think, but I think in my opinion, it seems like she dwelled on it.
Yeah.
She got overwhelmed. I think she got overwhelmed.
Yeah, I feel like we spend all this time warning people about what could happen with postpartum depression getting out of hand, postpartum anxiety, how the hormones play a part in the seriousness of the postpartum, time period. And then when something happens in that period, we refuse to believe that that's what it is. And that's what I feel like is happening here.
Did you have a therapist or just psychiatrist or
nurse practitioners.
She went to she had therapist as well.
Yeah. I still don't think that the medical field is taking it as serious as what they need to take it.
Yeah.
Right. I think some people just throw some meds at things and then they don't follow up with therapy. Like they don't follow up with the patient and make sure that they're going to therapy and make sure that they're stressing how important this is. And I just don't think a lot of physicians stress that enough.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, they just throw medication at you and see what's going to work, and then in between, they really don't know what's going on. So they could be throwing the wrong medications at them, and then look what happens.
Yeah.
It takes a long time for medications to kick in. I think that women that are in this position really need to be patient, hospitalized while they're trying to recover, from maybe a traumatic birth.
Yep.
All different things can cause this.
Yeah.
I really honestly feel like there should be a place where they go and they rehabilitate and, get set on the right medications. Because if you send somebody home on the wrong medications, like I was sent home with Lexapro. Now, I'm not a mother and I've never had any children, but I had been on Lexapro before and it literally started causing me to have suicidal ideation. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that word.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
So I had ideations really, really bad. And finally we figured out it was my medication. But in the meantime, something could have happened to me because I wanted to walk in front of a vehicle and all kinds of things. Things weren't okay. And it was the medicine was causing me to have a lot more problems than what I was having. So,
That's true. Yeah, I had a sister that went through that. They gave her medication within 3 days. She was up on a bridge, and I'm like, oh my God, and that happened 4 times. And I had to go to them and say, hey,
I even told my doctor, I was like, hey, this isn't me. This isn't me. You've got to help me. Something's wrong. And what if Lindsay did that? What if she was like, hey, this isn't me? What's going on? I feel so out of whack, but yet they sent her home.
Yeah. And she did that very thing.
She did what she probably feared that she was going to do.
Right. And she was begging for help, trying to get herself different, you know what I mean? She explored every avenue, calling hotlines, suicide hotlines, calling, trying to get herself admitted this place, that place, switching doctors because someone wasn't helping. I don't think there's anything left that she could have done to get help.
Yeah, but I think she was so frantic to try to get help because she knows she needed it. But she was to me, it seemed like she kind of was jumping all over the place and not giving anything a chance to, because she wanted that help now.
So but yes, and I agree with the medications. Let me explain, and I want to go through this again. I know I mentioned it before, and I think people are confused about this when it comes to medications. I think people are under a misconception that because these psychiatric medications take time to build up in your system, that it means it takes time for a reaction to build up. That's not the truth. You can have a bad reaction to an antidepressant or one of these medications on day 1 or day 2, even though the medication hasn't built up in your system. So it's building up in your system to even you out. However, the medication is still running in your system and you can have a negative reaction right away.
Yes, that's true.
You know what I mean? So I want people to understand that just because it takes time to build up and level out in your system, it doesn't mean that when you take it, you can't have an immediate reaction, because you can. And you know what I mean? And then again, you're mixing, again, it didn't build up in your system, but when you start mixing these medications, that can get really messy.
Yes.
And then, people are focusing on the meds causing the psychosis, but there's a lot that could have caused the psychosis. Lack of sleep, not sleeping, that causes psychosis. The stress of a new baby with postpartum depression. They're saying underlying bipolar there. All of that in and of itself without the medications can absolutely cause a psychotic break. You know what I mean? There's so many things on its own that could cause a psychotic break. And then when you add them all together, that was a recipe for disaster. That was, it was bound to eventually happen.
Yeah, true. I think that everybody wants justice, for the kids, and that's acceptable. People wanting justice for those children, but she also was very, very sick.
Yes.
So it's just, this is a really hard and tough situation. It's so hard because they're involved.
Right.
If you don't mind, AK, I'm going to use you as a point. Because I tried to make this point before and people are like, well, she was a nurse. How didn't she know? Now you just said you were a nurse and you've gone to people for help. You're like, wait a second, like something's not right with me. You know what I mean? Like you're not really a nurse when you're the patient, right? Because the experience is different.
So it's really, really hard. Okay. So sometimes when something's wrong with me, if somebody else had that problem, I'd be instantly like, oh, I know exactly what's wrong with you.
Yes.
But when it's yourself, sometimes it's really weird because you're like, oh, is this what's wrong with me? Maybe not. No, it can't be.
Yeah, you're questioning yourself.
Yeah, you're a little bit in denial, even though you know deep inside what it actually is. So like I knew, so in the beginning when I started having ideations, I didn't know what was going on. All right. I didn't put my medication, I didn't put it as, oh, okay, I just started this med back and all that. I wasn't thinking that. I just kept thinking, something's wrong with me. Something's wrong with me. What's going on with me? What am I doing that, why am I thinking these things? Like what, like why? And was it okay? You get clouded, you get foggy, and you like internalize it, and you're not using your
Assessment
brain,
skills
You're not
as a
using
nurse,
your
correct.
intelligence, your nursing brain. You're not using your nursing brain on yourself. You're
Yep.
just trying to figure it out. So I understand exactly in that mindset what she was going through. Because we aren't the best. Nurses do not take care of themselves. I don't
No.
care what anybody says, we are the worst at doing it.
And we're the worst patients.
We are definitely the worst patients. We are. I'm learning now that I'm getting older that I need to be a better patient. And it's like, I'm just not. But yeah, I think it's just a nurse thing in general. We just don't take the best care of ourselves all the time.
I think that's with any profession. Like, say somebody that builds houses, but you go look at their house and it looks like crap, their own house. But
Whose nail tech has horrible nails? My nail tech's got the worst nails, right? Because she's not doing herself. She's worried about making mine look all pretty. Let me, I don't know if you want to say this, and I'm not offended if you don't, but can I ask what specialty of nursing you're in?
I think corrections.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that's why I like true crime so much too. It's my dad was a police chief and my grandfather was a detective. His brother was in the FBI, and I should have went into law enforcement, but I wanted to just go into nursing. So I thought best of both worlds, and so I treat inmates.
Nice. All right. So I want to say this because I think people think that, and it's the same with doctors, right? Like primary care doctors. We know a little bit of everything. We all went to nursing school. We all had to go deliver to babies. We all had to go play on peds. We all had to go to psych and med surg and every little specialty. And you had that little bit of time in each one. And it's not until you get out and you're on your own in nursing where you pick up your specialties. Like I specialize in both orthopedic. Like I specialize in a couple of things. Kids are not my thing. And I'm a mom of 10. So it's not like, we don't know the basics. Like I can look at a kid and know, hey, he's dying. I got to help. I can look at a kid and know certain things are wrong, but it's not my specialty. Certain things are not your specialty. And so if it's not your specialty, you don't really have the knowledge of the specialty. You think we do, but we have the basic knowledge of a little bit of everything until you get into your specialty. And you know what I mean? And the education in other specialties, we don't really keep up with. You know what I mean? So people, just because someone's a nurse doesn't mean that they know psychiatric medications inside and out. You know what I mean? Like, because they don't. I don't know certain medications, like, you know what I mean? Urology. I got no idea about their meds. What's new treatments? What's, acceptable treatments or recommended treatment? I have no idea because I don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I know orthopedics. I know.
My daughter's a nurse, but she specializes. She's more with the elderly,
Yeah. You know what I mean? So everyone's like, well, why would she do all this with her meds? Because she was still a patient looking from the inside at her own problems, not assessing herself from the outside perspective. Also, I don't know everything about every medication, and I Google and I learn just like everybody else, but I can also get the wrong information from Google because I don't have experience using these medications. right? Because it's not my specialty. I'm not trained to know that stuff. Where I know a little bit, not enough to be anything, you know what I mean? Like some kind of expert. And so I think that people need to remember that, yeah, nurses know a little bit of everything, but we don't know every medication. We don't know, the newest treatments to every specialty. It's often branches. So I wouldn't expect her to know anything about psychiatric meds because she doesn't work in psych.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I don't blame her for that. She doesn't need to know them in what she does.
It's just really hard. I mean, it's just really hard to look at yourself with the nursing hat on. It's just really hard to do that. I don't know. Somebody in the comments said they have a hard time doing that also.
Yeah. But I do know that she did try everything, calling hotlines, going to programs, going to doctors. When she felt like something was wrong and the doctor wasn't listening, she went to another one. She was looking for help. You can't deny that, right? Justice for Andy, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So again, it's really just, and I want people to understand that when it comes to psychosis, everyone's like, but she was thinking clearly. It doesn't mean you're not thinking clearly. You're just thinking clearly in a separate reality, though. You're thinking clearly for that reality that is non-existent to the rest of us. It's a really hard concept. I know I struggled with that concept when I was in school. It took me a really hard time to understand that.
Did they play? I didn't get to listen to all of the court today. Did they play the 911 call?
They did not. So I'm going to read it because what happened is the judge allowed it to be played for the courtroom and for the jury, but not the media could not record it, and it was not allowed for us to hear it. So I do have the transcript, and I'm going to pull it up right now.
There's certain stuff that the husband did not want in, like the pictures of the children or the 911.
The autopsy, yeah, which I understand. We don't need it. We know she did it. She's not denying it. There's absolutely no reason.
I believe with everything else, but I think they should have played the 911 call. That would have been.
Yeah.
Eventually, it'll be out there.
So let me see. It says 911 call. Explain how she tried to commit suicide. There's a lot of voices. Where is she now? Stay awake. How old is she? Response 31 to 33. Is she awake? Yes. Is she breathing? Yeah. Lindsay, what did you do to your neck? She's talking. When? Last half hour. How far did she fall? 20 feet. Multiple voices are heard talking. Is she responding normally? A little bit. Wake up. What part of the body was injured? Neck. She's breathing. Lindsay, look at me. Look at me. Are there weapons? I don't see any. Where are the kids? Multiple voices are speaking. Do not move her. Open your eyes. Can someone, okay, Lindsay, look at me. Open your eyes. I'm going to tell you how to stop the bleeding. It's not bleeding, open wounds. She's in the backyard. Is there something on her neck? A knife or something? Can you put pressure on it? No. Multiple voices are heard speaking. Lindsay, wake up. They hear moaning. Put pressure on the cut. Lindsay, look at me. Say my name. She's conscious. Don't move her. Tell her to be still. Background whimpering, sirens in the distance. I'm going to stay on the line with you. Is there a fence? Right here, right here. I need you to stay and go check on my kids. Hello. They hear footsteps. Guys, guys. Oh no. They hear yelling. Oh no. They hear yelling again. Wake up. Screaming, screaming. This is him now, the husband. What is he screaming about? Crying, screaming, gasping. Oh my God. Screaming, screaming. Hello, what's going on? Basement, basement. Oh my God. Hello, hello. Screaming, screaming, screaming. Ah, she killed the kids. Oh my God. Screaming, screaming, screaming. Oh shit. The court then took recess.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So he didn't know the kids were dead when he found her. He found her outside after looking in the house and didn't see the kids. He saw that there was blood in the room of their locked bedroom. There was blood everywhere. The window was open. He went outside, found her in the backyard on the floor in that condition. When they finally showed up The ambulance finally showed up. He went in the house to check on the kids and found them in the basement with the exercise bands around their neck, where he then proceeded to untie them from around their neck. Because she told him the kids were in the basement, but she did not tell them they were dead. She did not tell him they were dead. So he went down there expecting to see the kids alive, which is absolutely horrible.
The baby lived a couple of days, but then the baby was bringing on alive. So yeah, the baby passed after a couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering when they said in the beginning, when he said that there was red stuff all over the room upstairs. Where did it come from?
So what happened is after I'm assuming at some point during the killing of the children, I can't say before or after, but she went upstairs. She crushed her pills. She took some pills.
Okay.
Then she slit both of her wrists, slit her neck, and then jumped out of the second-story window. And all of this supposedly happened because she states she had command hallucinations from a male voice that told her that she had to kill herself. She couldn't leave the kids behind. She had to take them with her. So the voices told her to kill the children and then kill herself, which ultimately is what she did, in my opinion.
But you know her brain wasn't working properly to jump out that window. Why would you do that?
Unless you had no choice, unless you felt like you had no choice.
Yeah. I wouldn't see why anybody would do that to themselves and then jump out the window.
I think prosecution is trying to say that she did that out of guilt for killing the kids. That seems like I followed a command.
I think the guilt from doing it to the kids is her doing what she did to herself before she jumped out the window.
Right.
But she obviously didn't do it. It was probably shallow because, I mean,
you know what I think? I think when the command voices tell you to kill yourself, she knew she had to kill herself, right? Because she has to follow the command. In her mind, she didn't have a way out. She had to. And I think there was hesitation there because I have to follow the voices. And so how do I die? And she took the pills and then tried to slit her wrist. And when that didn't work fast enough, she jumped out the window.
She even thought she had thoughts before that of unaliving herself, but the children didn't come in until like the last minute. I don't know why, but she did have those thoughts that she just didn't want to be here.
Right, but she also had previous thoughts of wanting to hurt the children.
I think one time she said to her husband, right?
Did she say it to her husband? Or did she say it to that nurse Gelada? I think she said it to somebody, but she didn't have a plan. Remember? And that's what I hate in healthcare. There's nothing that aggravates me more as a nurse than they can tell you they want to kill themselves. They can tell you they want to kill everybody. But if they don't have a plan, when it's not emergency, like it's like, no. The second somebody thinks about harming themselves is a red flag to me. I don't care. I'm trained to tell you that, if you have a plan, it's more serious. In my mind as a nurse, I take it just as serious. I'm not going to lie. I don't do what I'm trained to do. I don't play the plan thing first.
Yeah. No, that's weird. I don't know who came up with that, but that just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No person who's not struggling with something serious thinks about killing themselves or someone else with or without a plan. So I don't know. This one's really hard. It's really emotional. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everyone's like, it's crazy, but what she did was exactly psychotic, right?
Yeah, so people can say that it was like premeditated, but like if voices were telling her to get her husband out of the house, that she was just following what was being told her. Somebody in the comments said, is it like OCD? Like you feel that compulsion to like do it? Yes. It's kind of like that. Like you have to do it, or if you don't do it,
something bad's going to happen. Yes.
Like, something's going to happen if you don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you also have to remember, it could be that she was functioning under a psychotic state, under those commands, and still be premeditated. right? She could have known that, you know, hey, you know what? I'm going to go do this. I'm going to kill the kids, and then I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to kill myself. She could still have planned it, but still have been in that psychotic state. And the planning was a reaction or a result of the voices, right?
Well, that's what I believe, because I mean, if you're sitting there and you're going through every step of doing all what she did, yeah, it was planned in that sense, but also her mind wasn't right. So
Right. And I think that, again, I think that planning was there, but it was in the psychotic state. And for people to say that you can't plan in a psychotic state is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Your brain still functions. You're still just as intelligent. You can still, and I get that manic, they start speaking faster, they react faster, but that's not always, right? So she definitely could have been cool, calm, collected, hearing these voices, had the plan, but still been in a psychotic. And she could have gone into this psychotic episode the second he walked out. Maybe the kids were acting up and it just became super stressful, and that's what triggered a psychotic break. It can happen over time, or it can happen right there. So there really is no.
Been having the thoughts way before then, because she was, and she knew that was her chance to do whatever was telling her to do.
Right.
I would
Absolutely.
be the jury in this one.
Yeah.
I would be the jury in this one, because I think that it's going to come down to, even though the judge said not to let your emotions get away from you with this, I have a feeling it's going to be really hard to keep their emotions out of it, just because there's 3 children,
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's one of the toughest ones I've ever seen.
Yeah, I get the anger of like, these kids are dead and I want to hate the woman and, lock her up and throw away the key. And I'm not a gray areas person, but this is definitely one that I got to look at the gray area here.
Same to the husband. Like, the husband's he doesn't hate her. He had to move on with his life and stuff. Of course, he doesn't like what the fuck happened, but he doesn't hate her, and he blames, the medical professionals also. And I think that, I don't know. I
think the fact that he said, and he states that I forgive her because it wasn't her who did that, she wasn't in her right mind, speaks volumes.
Yeah. Because
it really
he
does.
That she was an amazing mother. This is just.
He knows in the core of her soul she was a good person and a good mother.
Yeah.
So what's actually wrong with her? Is she paralyzed?
She's paralyzed from the sternum down.
The sternum?
Yeah. From the sternum down, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell, she wasn't thinking, because really, unless you drop head first out of a window like that and land on your head, you're more likely going to live. It's really not that far up.
See, it's not, but you can definitely die.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can definitely die. I mean, but like, I wonder what the percentages are.
I feel like jumping out of a window from a second story. Yeah, I think that definitely, the way you land it's so much can happen. You got spleens, you got so many organs inside, you got, you know what I mean? Your head.
It's only 12 feet?
It's only 12.
Well, hold on. I want to say, hold on.
That's 6'1".
Hold on. I want to specify though, because I really want people to understand what they said. It was 12 foot from the windowsill to the floor.
Right. To the ground?
To the ground. 12 foot from the windowsill to the ground.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's about to where she fell.
Right. I would say about 15 feet, because she would have been bigger than the windowsill. She would have been above the windowsill. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I just don't know.
I mean, how far do you? If you look at, I'm looking at the house right now, and I'm like, it sounds like 12 feet. It's only 2 above me, but when you look at the second story window, which is like pretty much average, right? It's a pretty good drop.
And especially from what I heard and read up on that she landed on her head. That's how she got paralyzed, because she landed head first.
Oh, she did land head first?
That's what
Well, I mean, I would think that if you were going to apply yourself by that means, you should dive out with your head first.
Yeah.
If not, you might not do it. It might not. Like if I tried to do it and I just jumped, I'm already 6 feet tall.
Right.
Yeah, I think the worst you would get is probably broken legs, or maybe
Well,
yeah.
it depends on how you land and how you jump, right? Because paralyzation is definitely going through my mind if I jump out of a second-story window.
Yeah.
At the least, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you may not kill you, but I'd rather be dead than paralyzed. I know that sounds horrible to
I
say.
know this is going to sound funny, but my dog did that from a second-story window, and she only lost one tooth and nothing else. One tooth. That was it. And she didn't like thunderstorms, and I wasn't home, and it was summertime, so I had the windows open. I was at work.
Not the dog jumped out the window.
Yeah, and the screen's out and everything, because she had such anxiety from thunderstorms. So I come home and the screen's out. I'm like, what's going on? I was afraid to go out on the deck and look down. I really was. But I did. Didn't see nothing. I'm like, then I'm looking around because I had 2 dogs at the time. I'm like, all right, here's one. Where's the other one? And she actually crossed the highway and got downtown to a pizza restaurant. Is where she got to. And they called me up and said, because I had the tags on her, I said, is this your dog? It's dog's down here. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, but I brought her to the vet anyways. But she only lost one tooth. She had to, she landed down and she probably just bounced her chin off the ground, probably.
I'm curious. I got to go back and find out what drug she had in her system that she took. Because I know I know there were benzos added in there. But she crushed a nice handful of the meds and took them before she jumped. I feel like, yeah, that was, I don't know. She definitely wasn't trying to survive, in my opinion.
Yeah. And it's hard to tell because, I mean, when you jump out a window, it all depends on how you land. I was over here just talking to myself. I had muted.
I mean, if she took those rugs right before she jumped, that's where you know her brain's not working, because it takes a while for them to activate, like to work. Usually, I mean, she snorted them?
No, she crushed a whole bunch of them up and drank them.
Drank them, yeah.
Does it say anywhere how long it was before she jumped?
They don't know.
They don't, yeah.
Thank you, Wendy.
They don't know.
Because that would tell a lot too. Because if she just took them, crushed them up, took them, and then waited for a couple minutes and then jumped, her nursing brain would know that those wouldn't even take effect. So that was pointless to take them.
Well, now remember that she slit her wrist and her neck in between the drinking the pills and jumping out the window.
The roads probably weren't fast enough. She knew her husband was going to come back home.
Yeah.
She was trying to hurry. Right. And then so the doing the wrist and the neck didn't work. So she just jumped off the window thinking that might work.
Right.
Man, she was like, fail.
Yeah. And I don't think she was failing because she wanted to survive. Again, I think that if you're listening to these command hallucinations and you're hesitant, right? But you can't help but follow these commands, then she would have been hesitant on not being able to actually slice deep enough to want to, you know what I mean? Because it's painful, right? I could see the hesitation in it.
Well, yeah, before, I saw her hands in court and I didn't notice any scars, but today I did because they did a close up because her lawyer was holding her hand and I could see the scars.
Yeah.
So they were deep enough to leave scars like that. I don't know what her neck looks like or where she did it on her neck, but
I just feel like the hesitation, but still the severity of what she did, all 3 of the things, tells me that she was fighting something and it was the voices, right?
How long was he gone?
Approximately an hour. About 50 minutes to an hour, I think is what they're trying to say. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I do. I see a lot of it is pointing back to a psychotic state. Because think about it. Somebody who was just suicidal and just like she killed the kids. Now she's suicidal. And usually when somebody accepts that they're going to kill themselves and it goes with a plan, right? Like even if it's the plan happens a minute before, they know what they're going to do. She just seemed like she didn't have that plan. She just, you know what I mean? Like there wasn't a plan followed there.
Yeah,
It was kind of scattered. I just got to end my life. Like, so the lack of, yes.
She didn't know what she was doing because she didn't.
Right. So the planning.
Place, you know, with the pills, then the cutting, then the out the
Yeah.
window. So yeah.
I don't know that she actually planned any of that. I think that the kids were in the basement. She grabbed the bands because they were there, right? They were available to her at that time. And then went upstairs and then, you know, knew she had to kill herself. But again, there was no straight plan or she would have carried it out, knowing that these voices are like, now you have to die. And she's just like, what am I doing? What do I do? How do I die? What am I doing? Which one? And that's why it seems like it wasn't, you know what I mean? While the death was planned because of the voices, there was no actual plan. So that to me shows that it wasn't planned per se, but it was planned just to follow out from the voices. Does that make sense? Like it was a plan because she knew she had to die because the voices were commanding her to die, but it wasn't her plan, or it would have been a lot more sophisticated and settled on how it was going to happen. And again, she's a nurse. She would have known what to do to kill herself.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking this whole time. Like, you definitely know as a nurse what to do.
Yes.
You definitely know.
Yeah.
And as a nurse, seeing all these different ways that people go, you see what's the best ways to go and what's the worst ways to go.
Right.
Fortunately, I mean, I don't feel like there's a better way to go, but I mean, there kind of is when it's comparable to other things. But,
right. Much rather OD than jump out a window. You know.
Why does his wife look like her? Well, he probably has a type.
Yeah, definitely has a type.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that wasn't a plan of her own without the psychosis. It was just, it became a plan when she had to carry out the commands. Okay. And it wasn't a well thought out plan because obviously, look, she didn't know what she was doing. So even though she knew she had to carry it out, there was no pre-plan before a psychotic command hallucination. So yeah, I don't know. It's really sad. And again, like
I'm gonna get off here. I've got a lot of things to do, but thank you for letting me up here. I really like talking about this kind of stuff, and I appreciate you guys letting me be up on the panel. So we good for Sunday then?
We are good for Sunday. You let me know what time. We'll be there.
All right. Is it going to be me, you, Shished, and Sam?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
I'll make a cool little poster.
All righty.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.
No problem.
Ivory, since she sent her husband on errands knowing what she was going to do, wouldn't it be premeditated? But do you know for a fact that she sent her husband out knowing what she was going to do? Like, I don't think if she, you know what I mean? Like,
To me, I think she was just asking him to go pick up dinner.
yes, and I think the psychosis happened. Something could have triggered her in that house alone with the kids. Right? Like, anxiety, all of it. I don't think that her sending her husband out was a plan.
No, it was just dinner.
Yeah, I really do believe it was just dinner. And again, everyone's like, but he sent her to a restaurant they never went to before. But did he question her? He didn't question her. So it wasn't too out of the ordinary that he didn't. I mean, they're texting and he didn't be like, oh, why all of a sudden are you going here? Like, it wasn't a question to him.
Wasn't it near the CVS though?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, if you really want to call it a plan and she knew she was going to send him to CVS, then why didn't she just send him to a restaurant a lot farther away than just 5 minutes away from the CVS?
Yeah.
So, I don't think that her sending him out was the plan. I don't think the plan or the the happened until the command hallucinations happened. And at that point, the psychotic break happened when she couldn't control the voices anymore. And that's why I think that it looked like, you know what I mean? Like there was no plan. She just knew she had to die, which is why the scattered thoughts, because there was no premeditated plan on how she was going to do it. So, yeah. Because if I was going to send my husband away, I wouldn't send him 5 minutes away. I'd be like, listen, you know that restaurant on the other side of Virginia Beach? I know this sounds crazy, but I'm dying for their whatever. Can you please go to that one? I've had a long day. That would show me premeditation, because you sent them 20 minutes away on the other side of town, not the one next to the CVS, only 5 minutes away. Like, that don't make sense to me. And then if I was going to call and make sure they had the laxative and I was really worried about my husband being out longer, I would make sure that I sent them for the medication that they didn't have. So then he's got to look, and then now I might have to go try another CVS. I wouldn't send them for what I wouldn't send them for what I knew that they had because I had called. It doesn't make sense. None of that showed me that she was trying to keep him out of the house longer, because if it was really a plan, she didn't do too good of a job, because I could have kept him out of that house a whole hell of a lot longer.
Right. Yeah, she could have went out in the car and
Yeah.
did whatever she wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. So I don't think the planning, or I don't even want to call it planning, I don't think the situation happened until he left. Something triggered it. And again, the kids screaming, the kids not wanting to listen, her being alone and being a little anxious about being alone, knowing she previously had these thoughts, anything could have triggered that break. And I think that's when the voices started for her, that triggered, I have to follow. And again, it's like an OCD thing almost. You have to follow the command. You can't help it. So, and again, like, what we don't know that there wasn't some words exchanged between the two of them. Can you get the kid off the couch? Why is he eating chicken nuggets on a couch? Or something that he said to her the wrong way. Listen, there's times where my husband says something and I'm just like, wait, hold on, what? Listen, you sit here and feed him then if you're going to complain about the kid being on the couch with the chicken nuggets. Like, you know what I mean? You don't know what transpired, where were the other two kids. We don't have the full detail of what happened, what mood he left in that house.
Yeah. The saying goes, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. They could have
Right.
had any type of conversation. We don't know.
Yeah. Or, do me a favor, don't get the order wrong. Like there's sometimes where I'm in a bad mood and, it's like, don't get the order wrong this time because you did last time. And he's like, oh, freak you. Like, listen, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know what triggers things, an argument, a little snap back and forth, a certain overwhelming feeling like I'm just angry at him. Why can't I go? I'm not staying with the kids. Why you know what I mean? You don't know what it was. So yeah, I don't see a premeditation there. If anything, I see a lack of premeditated thought, with the not even sure what the plan was going to be. I think she was just rolling with the punches at that point, just listening to the voices, not even knowing what she was going to do to get it done. I think that the bands around their neck, it was there. If it had happened in the kitchen, there would have been knives. If it happened in the bathroom, there would have been a bathtub. Like, I think they were just at that spot, and it's what she had.
Right. All right, Ivory, I'm going to sign off for the night.
Absolutely. Thank you, Susan, for coming up. All righty. Yeah, guys, I'm going to go talk to the hubby and say hello to everybody and do my thing. I might be on later, though. Once I go through my notes, I might do a random pop on to see what I come up with. So Jamie, Baby D, Sam, everybody who was up here, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yes, Judy Lee, absolutely. You can follow me. Thank you, everybody over here on YT and Facebook. I really do appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys later.